It's Thursday, that means it's Thursday Modern, live from Titan Games in Peoria, the Casbah of Peoria Gaming, where card floppers and dice chuckers play in harmony. I'm Evil Bob, your resident head in a box, and we have a great match coming for you tonight. We have 14 in-house, so we're going to get at least 3 good, if not 4 rounds in of solid Magic the Gathering. And we are starting strong with the Danzy playing Flash Kai. Taking on Rockin' Ricky Ruff, who should be playing Rhinos, and if he's not, I'm going to have words for him. Going in kind of blind, not knowing what anybody's playing. Again, running a little bit behind, unfortunately, so could not get everything. Where? Oh my goodness. Let's see here. Looking again for the Rhino. Ricky Ruff, Ricky Ruff, Ricky Ruff, Ricky Ruff. Starting with an Inquisition, so it's more than likely going to be Rhinos. There it is. Rockin' Ricky Ruff. And he is up. Alright. So Ricky shocks, or plays, and Danzy is the one who's going to shock himself to 18 to get up a Delver of Squeakrits coming into play. Alright, a second Inquisition of Kozilek. Ricky only having 1 land, but keeping dual Inquisitions. Does strip a Boros Charm and a Snapcaster Mage, so, but Danzy does have a flipped Delver. And there is a mana, and there's Taylor's Whisper coming in, and Ricky's going to take 4 on turn number 2.
Hey guys, don't attack that with adamantine weapon, because it'll just break apart.
What is that you're saying?
Several creatures, 2
and now Danzy passes, and Delver's going to get pushed on Ricky's turn. Doesn't want to take another 3 to the face. I don't blame him. I took 3 to the face once, and it wasn't great. Wasn't the worst thing that had ever happened, but it just wasn't fun.
And I have a 27.
Yeah, you still got better. I'm not good at planes.
Alrighty. Ricky still stuck on 1 land, not very good. Boros Charm to the face. It's going to take him to... He paid a life somewhere. And Taylor gets in. No. Oh, Boros Charm at the end of his turn. Okay, so...
No, you are right.
Alright. So Ricky...
So these are caustics.
Alright, Danzy's gonna Snapcaster and Boros Charm to the face. And Danzy is in absolute control. Ricky really hoping that it would have been able to come down, but 1, 2, 3. He's in bolt range. Anything is going to kill him, and Danzy looks like he has a remand. Okay, he is playing. Oh my goodness.
Do I know, based on my knowledge check,
so a Tireless Tracker would have been exceptionally good, but unfortunately Ricky was not able to pull it out. And Danzy ends up taking game number 1 to get us started here on Modern Thursday.
Oh, really?
I would like to remind everybody that Modern Thursday is filmed in front of a live Pathfinder audience.
Yes, hello.
Ready, action, 2, 3.
What are you doing here?
Oh, just exploring. We're explorers.
Okay. Go explore over that way. This is our spot.
Trying something a little bit different. We don't have. I'm discontinuing the hand cams. They were not great. I wasn't able to get them to work virtually at all. They did help a little bit, but they were just in the way more than they were benefiting. So I'm gonna have a time cam, and I'll probably I'll work with the layout. I'll get it set up. I need to work out more deck icons and set those up as the go-to design for the decks. And I'm just gonna work on a new layout and just work on that. But we are running Resurrection today, in light of or in support of the Resurrection Challenge that is going around. Amen to South African ministers who thought it would be a great idea to do a resurrection in church.
We're going left.
And if you're gonna do it, make sure everybody's on board with it and knows what's going on, and maybe hire somebody who can play dead a little bit more convincingly. And if you have no idea what I'm talking about, you know, go ahead and look it up. Resurrection Challenge is a fantastic thing.
A wretched-smelling breeze rushes through this narrowing...
Hashtag Resurrection Challenge. There's some pretty funny videos out there. I highly recommend it.
There might be a copy of you in there.
Maybe I should take you now.
Give me a perception check.
I'm good at those, maybe.
Guys, I swear it wasn't me.
Almost 27.
So we are...
27.
14. So, as you're going through here, you think you see, like here,
Okay.
equivalent a thin...
So Ricky is indeed playing all the rhinos, and Danzy's playing Jeskai Flash, so...
If you look at this here, it's a very thin tunnel onto the next area. If you continue.
We got an adamantine weapon.
Alright.
Go.
I think my
Danzy
dad-
draws his. That's a lot of land. Ricky, maybe you'll be able to keep more than one swamp in hand.
Once I can barely fit in, I'm just gonna enlarge person to make it.
There you go.
That might be.
Some leaves don't work that way. You can't just break the wall and get
Hardness 8 and 20 hit points.
Yep, it's gone.
Okay. I can't.
So Ricky's starting off strong with an Inquisition, coming off the back of a black-green fast land. And he's probably going to take the either the Delver or the Boros Charm.
So as you are bashing through to that side there, a narrow flow of magma rises through his broad.
He does have a Lily, so if he can get up to 3 mana, it'll be a little bit better for him than last game, where he can deal with the Delver with Lily, but he's got to get her down first.
After entering the chamber from the south.
Probably going to take the Boros Charm is what I would recommend if I were Ricky, but then again, I'm bad at this game, so...
A small island between the two magma falls. To the southwest, another promontory juts onto the lake. Steps on it lead up to a path.
Does take the Boros Charm, so...
Right at the point of the northern promontory,
Hey, look at me. I am as good at making decisions as Ricky Ruff is. That is in no way a dig on Ricky Ruff, and I am elevating myself higher than I have any right of saying I am. Delver of Secrets comes down. Danny hoping to he's probably going to opt his way into a Delver. And we're going into back-to-back Inquisitions, and now you get to look at the Lightning Bolt. Path, Bolt. Probably get rid of that Bolt, is how I would recommend this happening. Yep, and there go the Bolt. Danzy gets to flip Delver off of a Mana Leak.
23. So this is supposed to be a pretty big passage, so we're going to say that it's this area over here.
It's fine for me. There's
So if you want to put yourselves... But it is a 5-foot entrance.
And swings in for 3.
I think go ahead more because I can fly once I get into the not 5-foot matches.
I was a back
And Ricky answers with a Tarmogoyf. Tarmogoyf appears to be a 2/3. That sorcery instant.
No, well, I mean,
How much are
it's,
boots of haste?
yeah, you have to squeeze for one square to move through.
And Danzy takes a peek at Ricky's hand to see that Liliana.
He's not occupying that square.
Okay, good.
So, Collier.
7.
And then we're just going to path the Goyf, and Ricky's going to go dig himself out. Probably a plains, maybe a swamp.
5.
Gets a plains. Good call.
Jeff.
And Danzy goes swinging in for 3.
Mine too.
Ricky has no answers, goes to 14. Danzy is now currently leading 18 to 14, but this game is far from over.
Shit, we got Sonic the Hedgehog over here.
Wait, what do you roll?
5.
Asher here is obsessed with initiative.
Oh yeah, I can't do a +10 and I'm still...
Ricky has his 4th land down, so we can get some Rhino action at any time.
There's one guy that
And it better be soon. Gotta see the Rhinos. Really, really want to see the Rhinos happen.
He was also archer. Wait. Yeah, he was the
He was a Inquisitor.
Fatally pushed the
Inquisitor
Delver
Diviner.
Squeakrits.
He had several classes.
That Kafka-esque bastard.
No, he did a +13 initiative.
he tossed heightened awareness on and love it.
And he gets pushed. Pushed into the graveyard. Not coming back from that one.
Just a level 1 wand. It's 2 prestige points. And you can use it because you're an alchemist.
No, I make magic with this one.
And Danzy reveals the land.
Normal initiative. It's a 6.
No, but it's
Ricky, not much of a threat. Could play a Rhino here. It would get path. There's a Rhino!
Over here, there's a
So good!
creature.
It's Rhino time!
Um,
Danzy does have a mana leak that he can throw at it, and unfortunately Danzy's going to say, I don't want you to have any fun with your Rhino. Blah, 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 blah. That's Danzy, the eternal party pooper.
nature and dungeoneering.
The no fun having Nancy.
right now or later.
Doesn't like people having fun. No Rhinos for you.
Can I see either of them from where I'm standing?
No.
Yeah, 5 foot through, so I have to move.
Yeah, sadly I only got a 3.
Alright.
So whenever it's my turn, I go
Out in there, and then I just step off to the side.
So take your roll at the end of your move then. What's the problem?
If I have to move more than 5 feet, I roll 1 die. If I don't, I can roll 6. Hence why I don't want to move if I can avoid it.
Some people are never happy.
And Ricky is going to Inquisition the probably the lightning helix out of Danzy's hand.
Magical beast. It's a big gray creature with nasty claws.
Honestly, I would have probably had more special effects.
Okay, yeah. Which one was the nature?
We have one is the nature,
I
one is
wrote,
the
so I wrote
perfect
Religion or bust.
List of perfect shot deck.
Alright, and Ricky follows up the Inquisition with, does take the lightning helix, puts out Lily, and we are going to tick her up to everybody discard a card.
And that is 4 cold damage and 16 bludgeoning.
Okay.
Does it look like it took damage like that?
I mean, it's an ooze, so
Danzy's turn draws, probably looks like a, or he's gonna, oh, he is Seaman Visions.
Jimmy.
He does have a path, he has a Boros Charm and a Lightning Helix. Lily is not long for this world.
This guy is large, this guy is huge.
Can I fly above the flying thingy?
Yes, they're within 15 feet, I think.
Can I see them from where I'm at?
Nah, we'll have to pretty much get to the rough spot of that.
He is ticking it up. I wonder why,
Oh, well,
Danzy's,
I just heard the
let him tick up to 5. Doesn't seem beneficial.
I'll throw a bomb on one.
And that is a Lingering Soul. So Ricky's going to get himself two spirits. They're 1/1 flyers.
No, I do. I don't want to burn it for no reason. And I have to have line of sight. So I don't want to just spend a point and just appear in there. So I've got 40 move speed. You want to move me up? How far I need to get sight up there?
Which one is you?
Yep.
And Danzy's just letting him tick up on the Lily.
20.
He has... Oh, he has no red mana. That's the reason. I did not realize he had no red mana. And now it's going to take everything he has to just kill her, because he can Boros Charm her down to 2 and Lightning Helix her if he Ghost Quarters his own land. So he's just going to Helix to take Lily down, and he's going to go to 21. He's going to pass turn, and next turn he'll be able to use the Boros Charm, ticking up, and oh, now he's got to hope to draw something to keep her alive. Danzy goes back down to 19 after Ricky's attack.
I had already rolled for the
He does double damage against objects.
Alright, and Danzy draws. Is that a Snapcaster?
Glad there's no women here.
It is a Delver Squeakrits.
You're not.
And, do I have any questions?
Sure.
Look for resistances.
The Delver of Secrets is a 1/1, but his real power comes from the transform, the Insectile Aberration. Very Kafka-esque,
I gave you the
very flavorful.
Okay. And the other guy,
Lily back up to 4 now.
24.
Ricky flashing back the Lingering Souls.
You get 2 questions. This is a shard slag. It's a ooze with the fire subtype.
Wait,
Okay.
is it immune?
Does it have any damage reduction?
It does. DR5 magic.
Okay, so that's not
And plays the Tarmogoyf from hand. Ticking down Lily to get rid of the Delver before it can flip. Goyf is currently a 4/5, it looks like. So, big boy.
Fire damage.
That's usually about where he sits.
Fortitude save of staggered. Can turn into a
Very nice.
metal body is
Very
hot as
nice.
stone. Creatures get in their turn within 5 feet of it take a d6 point fire damage. Anyone striking it takes 2d6 points of fire damage. The creature it's grappled takes 3d6 points of fire damage.
And Ricky collected Brutality. Danzy is down to 7, though it's not going to matter after this. He is going to drain 2, bolt.
Reflex save or your weapon sticks and you can't pull it away.
That's important to know.
And
So,
it
drain 2,
metal body
tick up Lily.
intrusions that strike at
Goyf attacked last
two
turn.
long swords that do extra fire damage.
He must have paid a life somewhere. And Danzy cannot come back. Ricky getting there this time with the multiple Inquisitions to take us into a game 3. And this is a really good match. I'm very, very happy for this.
5 foot to where he is behind me.
Okay.
Like how tall and like 5 foot feet are they?
They're 15 feet tall, buddy.
Don't worry, on my turn.
Hello! How goes?
I'm worried about me getting up there to bomb and
So am I good for
Is that
Yes, yeah.
Great Majora? That's is that Jarvis or somebody different?
Huge thing he's got is huge size, but
I want to say it's Jarvis. I'm probably wrong in that, but it wouldn't be the first time I've been wrong.
So does it have a? Is it reaching me from where he's standing right there?
that's about as far back as you can get.
So while we're getting ready, I guess I can reset live totals because everybody does start at 20.
Dimensional slide. I can as a 5 foot move.
Did-
Teleport.
So is the room big enough that there's anywhere that
Goes well would have gone better if food was at 45 minutes late. Oh, I was right. It is Jarvis. Huzzah!
Would that
Ah!
provoke into, like,
It takes so little to make me happy.
new combat?
The next room is technically the lava itself. So you
Alright.
Correct. Look, I'm popping around the corner.
Yeah, I
So-
just not teleport over there and go, oh, and I'm looking into a new room now. Because that's not what I want to do.
No, you could
Might get
do.
extra experience.
New cards.
Okay, well, I will go
Okay,
ahead
so
with additional
I'm
slide.
just looking here at information about Modern Horizons. It's interesting. I mean, it's got the right number of cards. It is 254 cards, so that's always interesting. But I don't know. Was that $6 a pack or $7 a pack?
Fear.
Sphere.
That's wow.
Brilliant sphere. So I'm in a bubble of force. And
Releasing June 14th, so pretty quick.
I obviously inform everybody about the knowledge of that.
249 new to Modern cards. Mix of reprints not yet legal in Modern. New cards that celebrate both Modern
There is one
June
other thing.
13.
If you're that far away. the-
Online boosters, but why wait that long? It's going to have pre-release events
Actually, these three
on
guys
June
have
8 and
plus
9.
2 to the morale bonus.
This could be a bit
So
difficult parse without some examples, so let's just show a taste of what Modern Horizons has in store.
Or you actually.
Yeah, we get Sarah Benevolent. She's pretty cool. 4/4 loyalty. Creatures you control with flying get +1/+1 till end of turn, so they already have to be flying. -3, create a 4/4 angel with flying and vigilance, and then you get an emblem if you control a creature.
17 is one short.
Damage that would reduce. Oh, you. Okay, so she's Sarah's is it aviary?
no, I asked for the DR.
Which
I
is
wanted to know-
physical aspects.
Exactly, not the resistance.
Yeah.
Brings up the gray
Sarah
red.
Aviary.
Looks like he's going to-
So it's very Sarah-centric. It's
Damn, I can't.
Sarah Aviary is her first plus ability, and then her minus ability is put a Sarah Angel into play, and then her ultimate at -6 is put an emblem that is worship. So as long as you control a creature, your life total
Any fire damage.
cannot be reduced to less than 1.
That would have. It's ties go to defender. Or?
Ricky's starting off like Ricky do with an Inquisition,
And a threatened critical.
and he's going to shock himself to be able to cast that one. Danzy with a
So it's gonna be
a Nova, or Nimbus Maze, that's what that is, a Nimbus Maze and a
21.
Steam Vents, maybe?
27.
No, that's a fast land, that's a... Anyway, so Ricky's gonna more than likely take the, either the Taylor Swift Spear or the Lightning Helix.
So that one misses, and then 32. So another D8 plus 7.
Let's see here, he has a Goyf.
So 8. So
Probably, it's either gonna be Taylor or the,
Jeff here has
Taylor or the, Helix, I feel. And then the other previewed card is the Cabal the Rapist.
one attack, not consecutive attacks.
What's up, Stubbs?
I'm unconscious. I think I'm gonna do it.
Aw. Who'd you play?
Yeah,
Bryce. Are you on Ginny? Are you on Ginny?
Jeff.
Not Five Bottom Girls.
I wish to do a 30-point move and get behind him.
It makes me tingle when I blood braid it with
well,
my
we have
wild.
clerics and
And
not knowing
prepare-
I can see that.
You guys are standing where I was supposed to be.
That tingle dingle dingle.
You guys are standing where I was going to be.
Well, we don't
Physically blocked.
So Stubbs popped in, was not able to get it against Bryce and his martyring proc deck. Looks like Ricky's going to crack a fetch
now we know what you mean after
and get out of basic forest. But the Cabal the Rapist is a 1/1 for 1 with Menace. At the beginning of your pre-combat main phase, you may sacrifice a creature. When you do, choose non-land card name. Then target player reveals their hand and discards all cards with that name. So it's a creature version with Cabal Therapy.
11 and 7 is 18, and 115
It better. I think Cabal Therapy as a card is too beastly, but Cabal Therapist is a more balanced way to bring about the that effect. Because a lot of people really like Cabal Therapy, but to be able to activate it once, and it's at the beginning of your main phase, so you have to cast him and then have him stick around. And as a 1/1 for 1, that's not very easy to do in Modern. And there's an Inquisition to strip Danzy, and it looks like Goyf is already at a 3/4, so it's unboltable for a one-shot kill. But yeah, I think having Cabal Therapy on a body that you can do only when he triggers at the beginning of main combat, or pre-combat main phase, so after you draw, pretty much after you've already ticked up your sagas. Yeah, I don't know. All I know is that Cabal Therapy is a completely busted card that has no business being anywhere near Modern. Just like Counterspell. Counterspell doesn't belong in Modern. I don't care what blue players say. You already have so many Counterspells. You don't need Counterspell. And Goyf is going to tick up to a 5/6 and get beats to Danzy's face. And there's Cabal Therapy. You know, for one mana sorcery, you know, all cards of that name. I mean, at least you don't have Git Probe to run it back to back with. That would just be nasty if Git Probe was still there. And Dancy's gonna bolt the threat that he had then. Yeah, and so yeah, Magic Horizons not gonna be so bad. Wow, so the in-store pre-release is June 8, and they're going to hold previews at the end of May. So it's going to be a week of previews. That's pretty mean. Danzy goes down to a respectable 5. And there's the Rhino! Ricky gonna Rhino him out. Gonna get it done. Danzy scoops it up. Can't say nothing to the Rhinos. As Danzy just layeth the smack down. As we celebrate the Rhino crash. Oh, the Rhinos! Bam! Rhino time. Ricky gets it done and moves up in the roster. He is undefeated. Truly the year of the Rhino. And Danzy picks up his 4th loss, but he is still 2 up in the win column, so he is 6-4 on the year. My goodness. That was fantastic. Rhinos! Yes, there is. There are too many decks where your graveyard is a resource. So to have to fuel it, or having to discard it for the Logic Knot, I mean, later in the game it isn't really gonna matter, but the option to make you throw away part of your graveyard to fuel a counterspell is more balanced than a straight up 2 mana counter spell. Honestly, I'm fine with it not being in Modern, because if you want a 2 mana counter spell, you gotta pick your battle. What do you want to counter? Do you want to counter a non-creature? Do you want to counter a creature? I mean, it pretty much boils down to that. It's like, what is your biggest threat, or what's the biggest threat to your blue deck, and that's what you throw the counter at. Because if you just put counterspell, every deck is just gonna run counterspell. Yeah, it's 2 blue, but there's a lot of blue already out there in Modern, and to not have, or to open up all the slots that just throwing a playset of counterspells in is going to make your deck even more powerful, because you don't have to limit yourself to what kind of spell you're countering or how you're going to be countering it. You just get that 2-mana straight up counterspell, and I don't like that. I don't like that at all. Yeah, I'm very interested about those non-modern, modern legal cards. I mean, it's going to be a lot of new. This opens the door to a lot of fun stuff that could never see the light of day standard. I mean, I didn't think that they were going to put Magistrate Scepter into Modern, but they did that with M19. It could open the door for a lot of stuff, and honestly, I'm really hoping that they don't do anything dumb like putting well, they can't put reserve list cards on there because they can't print reserve list. So I don't even know what I was worried about on that thought. Forget I even had it. Something I would a card. It's probably reserve list. I didn't even think about that. Let me take a look. It's a Visions rare, so it more than likely is.
He misses though. That one.
Actually, didn't that guy have grab?
He does, but he was down. So.
Move, let me know by the way.
Limited alliances, Weatherlight. There's so many cards on this list. Mirage.
Yeah, you get out of the reach. You have to move.
What's up, Jake? How goes?
I won.
Who'd you play?
Yeah, so the render is going to
Nick?
attack. Captain.
Good. Oh, that Nick.
Yeah, he's going to.
Oh, I mean, good for that too.
I mean, 2 extra AC.
So he has
His win
27
rate
to bite
against
you.
Infect is 12%.
That's right.
Oh, is that what you're on? Is
That's
Infect?
when he wins the die roll.
Oh, you what?
I won off of a
Surprised
5
you got
the
that
second
low AC
game.
Well, yeah, because you're Infect, you can do that.
Oh no, it was a bad hand.
3-gens are known to be awful.
He just didn't draw a 10th mana source.
And then.
I was sitting there with it lost in his hand for a while.
Less good equipment.
My AC is 32 right now.
Yep, there it is.
So he hits you once.
Just kind of thinking, Jarvis says hi.
Things can damage
8
me?
damage.
What kind of damage?
Claws.
Modern
slashing.
needs more to curve greed.
What?
Modern's not going to get Wasteland.
No, it's not.
Modern, they
CMB
printed
33.
Field of Ruin. They're not going to give you Wasteland.
They won't do it.
They won't do it.
Whatever your CMD is normal, like +4.
Yeah, 27 is less than 33.
Yeah.
So he has grabbed you.
That's his problem.
Jeff.
Yeah, it is on the reserve list. I was just thinking to myself the other day, how much fun I could have with the Eye of Singularity in Modern. But then again, they loathe Enchant Worlds, so... What is that? But yeah, I'm very intrigued by this. I hope they don't ruin the Modern format by just dumping a whole bunch of. I hope they're not like moving Modern into like a legacy light. I'm not that into it. It had a very good thing going with the Modern border forward. But I mean, it could be good. It could be very interesting. It has potential to be busted as hell. I know Danzy said that he kind of wanted Berserk to be printed in Modern, and I said absolutely not, because the reason that you can't get Berserk is for the same reason you can't have Blazing Shoal, is Berserk cannot exist in a format where Infect is a very viable idea. I know Modern is Legacy Light. What I'm hoping, instead of all new to Modern cards, I was kind of hoping this set would be like a good Modern Master reprint, like a place that you put Modern Masters, the Modern cards that just need to be reprinted. It's not going to be in standard, so you can just it's a full Modern set. You can introduce new cards, you can but we need not just all new Modern cards, we need good Modern reprints, and that is what would really help it out. Because if you shouldn't have to spend a bajillion dollars to play Modern. The bajillion-dollar format is Legacy, and even more so Vintage. You should absolutely be able to pick up a Modern deck and run with it. There's no cards in Modern on the reserve list. Well, yeah, right now. And yeah, there's no cards in Modern on the reserve list, so there's no reason that any of these cards should be super expensive. I mean, the cap on a card in Modern should be $50-$60 with some very rare occurrences, but not staple cards. Staple cards should be should be 40 and under it with no excuses. If a card is like super powerful and is an absolute staple in a good chunk of the decks, and I'm talking like Snapcasters and Lilies and Cavernous Souls, and these cards, they're dumb expensive, and they should be reprinted to make it viable. Goyf should not be a triple-digit card. I'm sorry, and I'm sorry if people out there have Goyfs. You know, I want to retain the value of my cards. It's dumb that a creature that has that much of an impact on the format is kept out of most people in the format because of its price point. Modern should be the all-inclusive Legacy, not the it's just as expensive to play Modern to play Legacy, so why even try? But is what it be, and it be what it is. We're about 10 minutes in. I got Jake Holmes lined up to be my next match, and it looks like he's going to be Infect. I'm going to find out what side he wants to be on, and regardless of printing, secondary market is independent. Goyf has been printed a lot, but it still has a high price tag. Because where it's been printed is stupid sets. The master sets price themselves out of availability a lot of times. They make these sets, but they're not for the people playing. And that's the frustrating part about the master sets, is they're not for everyone, and the people that they are for don't need them. They don't need them because they've already got them. That's the problem, is like, we're making these sets for people who don't need them. Are making these sets to price out, and the Rick in the what's his nuts the Rudies of the world. They're the only ones that are benefiting, and this is a game. It's supposed to be a game that wants to be played. It's not supposed to be an investment retirement fund. That being said, I'm going to step out for a couple seconds and chat up with some people, find out what's going on, and while I'm gone, I'm going to leave you with the sultry sounds of the Pathfinder Society.
Behind you, that looks like this.
Is it the floating?
That looks dangerous and spiky. I think I want to shoot it.
I want to hug it.
I'm going to maintain sitting in my bubble.
A spider?
If only the bubble could move.
No, it's like a floating sphere with an eye and
60 swords poking out of it? With a sword
swords. This
shoved
is a knowledge
nature?
planes check.
No, where's the
That's
next
good
one?
motive.
It's
Only 26.
Does it
Actually,
look
okay,
angry?
so I can see it then. So I can see it.
yeah.
You know, I don't know body language for floating
Knowledge
monkey
of planes is
spears.
22.
Is this
Maybe, though.
right?
26.
Still same order basically.
Yeah.
Okay.
This is a augur chitin.
26.
28.
It is an augur chitin.
Does it want hugs or does it want to kill us? Go fuck.
Probably not drugs.
You don't necessarily know. It's a lawful evil tiny outsider.
So it wants to kill us. Outsiders always want to kill us. Let's kill it. I've never,
Evil.
It's
I've-
awful.
I've never seen a good outsider.
Angels.
Yeah.
It has
Those are
DR,
not
good or
celestials.
silver, immune to cold, regeneration.
How does it, so why can't we shove more swords through it?
I mean, you could, but it's just sitting there right now. What are you guys doing?
Any language?
Wait, what language?
Whose turn is it?
I got
I guess
Does it
after
speak orc?
some.
after George is Jimmy.
What languages would it be reasonable?
Apparently it cannot speak, but it knows Common and Infernal.
I start talking to it.
I'll speak in Infernal.
I speak in common. I say, hello, do you want to kill us? Can you
Yeah, I got
write
you.
on the wall?
Ah, excellent. Please come help us.
Diplomacy.
We have people to kill.
Spiky death ball. Can we just keep it forever in spiky death ball?
As I'm sitting in my bubble of force.
Do I recognize him speaking in the language of demons?
I don't know. Do you have Infernal?
No.
Make a linguistics
But
check.
it sounds like lava grinding against itself.
Do you want to
I've
mount?
performed many an exorcism with my sword.
Good luck.
So it seems to want to move you. It seems it's doing that like beep beep, follow me type of thing.
I follow it.
Trying to.
I fly straight over into
Yes.
it and pet its meaty head.
Sure. Let's
So
go.
it follows you back a couple of places to a spot where the
Gas people. Guessing it. Gas
The
people.
Hell Knights were killed?
not that room, but the second room where Hell Knights were killed, or the
Okay,
third.
where they were
So this is
camping
the
at?
third. Oh no! Back when you could have gone left or right, and you went left.
Okay,
It
yep.
takes you back to the right.
Okay.
Rivulets of magma course down this cavern's northern wall, melting plates of spiked black armor before draining into the rock.
Oh, so it's referred to it. So it's
And there is some
lawful.
Hell Knights, more Hell Knights here with
Dead?
ruined armor.
Dead or
And
alive?
except there's one.
This is a very failed expedition.
Yeah,
on their part.
or maybe.
There's one who seems to be stuck to the wall, whose armor is attacked. But now the
Thanks for answering.
spiky thing uses the bodies as ink while coating its blades in blood and writing upon the wall. First it writes help.
How? I write. I say how.
Yeah. How?
Ah, the
What do
princess
you need
is
help
in
with?
another castle.
So it explains that the Hell Knights sought to uncover the source of potent lawful energies within the dungeons.
Wait, I think this thing was evil.
It's lawful.
I thought it was. Oh, okay. No, I don't think it's a me.
Hell
Knights.
I would lie.
If it's
He
a
doesn't
lawful
know very
demon, it's
much
the devil, not a demon.
beyond
yeah.
here, and yeah, he wants you to. He seems to want you to free the one Hell Knight and take her body back to Fort Inevitable.
Wait, so is she
Okay,
alive
I
or
was gonna
dead?
say, if it would
Hell
help,
Knight's
I
good or
do
bad?
have share language
Bad and good
that I could do if that would.
Hell Knights are
Facilitate.
living.
It doesn't
Hell
have a
Knights.
mouth.
Are Hell Knights
Okay.
good or bad?
So does it want to feast on my body?
Hell Knights are lawful neutral and lawful evil. I guess technically there can be lawful good Hell Knights as well. Hell Knights as an organization are lawful neutral, so they're all lawful.
Which is reasonable. Like, they're not.
Okay, so do we start dumping these bodies? So wait, is the body alive, Dad, that it wants us to take back?
No, she's dead currently.
Okay.
Currently.
I
We can fix that.
Breath of Life.
actually,
Ray's dead. But that'd be expensive.
No, but Breath of Life has a very severe time limit.
Yeah, for 1 round. Yeah, after they died.
Yeah. So it's asking you to pry her body off of the wall.
Very unceremoniously, I'm doing
No,
that.
Give me a strength check.
Oh, I'll try.
Assist.
I'll try. My
So
dex
big.
23 and my intelligence.
Am I still big?
Great tiger.
How
It was
about
a 5 foot.
a
you
17,
couldn't
Dad?
fit through the.
A hardy
Oh,
17,
alright.
and if I rolled a 19.
21. Of all the times to roll 19. Yes.
Yeah, I rolled
On
one.
strength checks when you don't
So
have
I
like,
got.
any
I have
bonuses.
19.
19. Somebody aids you and you pry her off.
Okay,
So yeah, the
can I kick
chitin wants you to take her back to Fort Inevitable.
Can we take it back with us?
Seems reasonable.
Do we have a bag of holding?
No, wait. I start kicking over all the other bodies into lava. No one will ever know. Except for the dread
I'll just
stick.
throw over my shoulder.
I
Theoretically, I could use
can
one of my first levels as a
I ask the media cube to come
Hey,
along?
what was
first?
it?
Mr. Wizard dude, do you have ink so this thing can stop using blood if it needs to communicate to us? And a room not full of corpses?
No. The corpse is gone. I'm starting to kick them in. The blood's still there. I just kicking the corpses into lava.
So to get to the next spot that there is to go, from here, you'll notice that you have to get to these stairs across
Wait,
the lava.
I'm not going back to Fort Inevitable. How did they get this far?
So, have any idea how much damage lava does?
Lots.
Did we just hoard the lava?
No, you guys can do
Float the
that.
river.
I
I'm
don't think
taking my
so.
beauty cube and going. I say bye-bye as I fly across.
Tendy tendon.
I mean, we've got
Say
30
random
DR
knowledge.
fire.
And I can fly.
We could throw a few.
I could potentially jump the gap.
I mean, I can just dimensional slide across. I'm good too.
Yeah,
He's can fly, so most of us can get across.
And the media cube is coming along, or dies.
See, the thing about swimming in lava is full play.
That swim.
Yeah.
No. I
That's
could
a
survive.
board,
We
not
could-
swim.
We could probably survive the
Alright, we
lava.
can figure out how
I
deep
would just
lava
die
is.
from
Actually,
a
I'm
choking.
probably less dense than it, even in full play.
Lava or magma deals 2d6 points of fire damage per round of exposure, except in case of total immersion, such as when a character falls into a crater of an active volcano, which deals 20d6 of fire damage. So if you try to walk into the lava, it's 20d6.
Okay, so I start
I'd probably
throwing
get
you
there.
guys
Get
across.
through, but only about half. Because 10d6 you'll knock off the first, so you take about 30 damage per round.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You survive.
I think I would.
And it continues for 3 rounds after you exit.
Oh, 20d6.
At half.
At half. Okay, so
hey.
So no, half.
it's 30d6 for the round you go through, and you're out. You're good.
I like these.
Unless you only have 20 movement speed or something.
How,
You're flying.
Oh
is
yeah.
So
it
you
flowing
could
or
get-
sort of stagnant?
It's a whole stagnant pool. From here to here, it's 5, 15, 30 feet
I'm
across,
across.
basically.
The media cube is across. The body's across.
Probably difficult terrain, so you probably have 2 rounds inside of it if you were crossing through, is my guess.
We could attempt
You have to
do a-
swim.
Oh, you have to swim?
Oh, you have to
Oh,
actually
God.
swim. So I do have
Okay.
some rope. We can do
Yeah.
a makeshift rope bridge.
How do I get
So,
past
do you
this?
want to go through all the other levels back, or do you want to follow us here, the people who can?
Here,
do
hold
it?
on, let me...
Did the
look through my
walls
stuff.
seem
I've
to
got
have
fly, I believe.
handholds?
So
Hold
someone
on,
has
hold on.
fly.
I've got fly. It's
It's
gonna...
got large carrying capacity. Someone can fly and ferry everyone over.
Okay, who has a bag of holding?
Okay, hold on, guys.
I
You all
don't
get
know
it.
about
You
those.
all get in it. I hold it forever. I throw it in
Yeah,
the box.
does anybody have a bag of holding, actually? That is
Yeah,
a
because I
legitimate way
can
to
just
do
fly
it.
you all across. Bag holdings?
I don't trust you.
I don't know.
Hey.
I'll let him dimensional slide with me. In the
I
bag
can't
of
do a
holding.
dimensional slide
Sadly,
that way.
so we do
But I can do
actually
a fly
have
spell.
that harness carrier that I made
Wait,
for me to ride on.
So I do have the
water.
fly spell. I can. It's gonna burn me. It's gonna burn some points of mine, but I can cast fly
wait,
spell on whoever.
can you
can
large
fly
person
over.
and just like reach it? No, he's not 30 feet big. Never mind.
Let
My-
me read the description. A spear of charred stone juts into the lake of flowing fire. The glow of swift moving magma
Oh, swift
Oh, it is
movement.
swift
Uh-oh.
movement.
Yeah.
cascades across the ceiling and walls, everywhere except for upon the radiant pillar of the emerald spire. 2 magma flows cascade around the spire from higher reaches.
Wait, does anyone have
So alternatively, you could use like reduce person spells and shrink everyone to carry them across.
No, yeah.
That would burn a lot of your first level spells. But
I mean,
yeah.
technically,
Yeah, I think that- Get someone with the highest strength fly and have them carry.
wait, you can give someone else fly?
No. Oh. Yeah, I can say you can't. He can.
Yeah, no, I know I can't because I wouldn't even if
I have 16 strength, but the problem is my armor.
Wait, you
Actually,
only
my
have
armor is
16
mithril.
No,
your armor's not
so
bad.
you can
Your
you can
max
fly
capacity.
heavy capacity, so
It's whatever your heavy capacity is.
what armor
which is
you
3 times.
And if you go large, you increase your strength.
Yep.
All right.
And also
Wait,
large size.
wait, no, first of all-
Asher, did you already cross the fire?
Yeah.
Okay, so when you cross the fire,
Can I
something
bring
happens.
wait, no.
Oh, God. No, you didn't. No.
Can I bring the Mutacube with me? Will he come with us or will he stay here? If he stays here, he's dying.
He's just following you
Yay!
guys.
I pet him.
You cut the sharp pointy thing covered in other people's blood.
Yeah, very, very.
You're gonna get a disease.
I
And
really
I'm not
don't
gonna
care.
cure it.
I really don't care. I have multiple thousand gold that is just sitting.
Want to roll him?
What?
Want to roll him?
I'm gonna be,
Roll them how?
yeah, I'm falling.
Yeah. Take it, roll it, steal his money.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
got a whole bunch of
You
gold.
know, no, you know where
I'm
my
down
money
for
is?
this.
You don't know where my money is, and you can't catch me if I fly for 60 feet per round, and I can do that like for 70 rounds or something. More than
I was
that.
afraid the expression had gone out of style. I can assure you it was quite popular in the 70s.
I also have
so
multiple
everybody is over here.
I can do more than one bomb per turn. But I'm still
Alright,
flying
so
in
the
the
plan
air.
is I'm getting a large person and just start carrying you guys across.
Potentially, it's
Fly.
gonna take a couple rounds to do all of this. So depending on
Asher
what happens
is
here,
flying across, and that is where we will roll initiative.
Please don't be a dragon.
Nice. I initiative again.
Yay. Luck.
You're so fast this time.
22.
Yep. Yeah.
I rolled my max initiative.
so 24.
Give me 1 second.
That means I wasted a d20. I mean a 20 on my initiative, so I have a 26.
That's for the best because you're in the middle of triggering combat. You need to go first and
Go away.
go away.
Not be flying over lava in case something happens
Okay,
to you.
yes, I will go first. I go away. I go up to
I mean, I can theoretically
Point of
save
teleport to
you
different
because I can just go. You're in a bubble.
Oh, you
And-
still have that?
Yeah, but then
I
you're
can cast
stuck
it.
in the bubble.
Oh yeah, then I can spot you all die.
How dare you?
And then I can fly away once the bubble disappears.
I thought you cared.
Hey, if you're carrying the gold, scope more gold for me. If you guys die,
It gets melted in the lava with our corpses.
yeah, but even one gold is still profitable.
It's interesting that the walking through magma is actually relatively low damage compared to going under it. Like the
20d6.
So no, it goes to
Touching
2d6
versus submerged.
20.
2d6 to 20d6.
Yeah.
Like
It said like I think it was fully immersed.
yeah,
Yeah,
fully
no,
immersed.
So-
So you could go like chest deep
Right, and maybe
and take
be-
2d6.
No,
Yeah.
you still take 20 if you're swimming.
Well,
But yeah, swimming.
swimming
Swimming is like
Asher.
basically fully immersed.
My turn.
No, what's your initiative?
26.
So we
Jeff.
could go in and like test to
11.
see how deep it was.
Well, I mean, I could just.
25.
I could probably just hold.
What's your plus to initiative?
Magnum ball go.
Yeah, I have an 11 as well.
I have 24.
You can
Oh.
go Kirby little
My
ball.
modifier is 0. You're going first.
Okay.
Well, here.
22.
Nice.
Good, you rolled good. You're not
I
going
think that's
last.
the only reason
11
I'm
for me as
going
well.
fast.
Hey, even if
But
your
I
dead
go
bodies
before
aren't in lava, I can still.
I'm
I
sorry,
still
what's
have
your
30
name again?
DR.
Josh.
I can still dip down and grab some if I can.
So Asher, you go first.
What do I
So,
see?
so what initiative
Nothing,
is
because
combat?
they haven't done anything yet.
Can I roll a perception check? Do I see if I see anything?
Sure.
I rolled bad, but I only got a 20. 21.
You see some shapes moving in the lava, but you can't really make out what they are.
Dang it, I don't have a cold bomb.
Just like sealed in.
I yelled at you guys, you might get murdered by these things moving in the lava.
You should fly higher.
I know, I'm as I'm going as high as I can. I have to move around, so I have to move so I can maintain my flight. I moved to the stair above the, not all the way in the stair, so I can still fly up. Yeah.
Okay.
I'm just gonna, actually, is this option to move there?
No, this over here is basically like that, buddy.
Oh, okay, so yeah. Yeah, but I have to maintain my flight, so I have to circle around and watch you guys die.
George, you can't see them.
I should have took the cold bombs.
Say, can I do a perception and then delay, or do I need to do absolutely nothing?
Oh wait, yeah, wait.
I mean, you can do a perception,
Could I
but
try to?
Not gonna show anything.
I mean, you can
new.
see shapes, but beyond that, your vision is
What's the throwing increment on a party member?
How big are they?
no idea.
Alright, so
I'll
35
try to
doesn't
catch
change
him.
anything on.
I'll try to catch him.
I mean, you can make out
Numbers are
some of the
right
shapes a little bit better, but
In more ways than
they're
one.
like submerged under 10 feet of magma. And even a magic arrow would be incinerated before it got there.
What about adamantium arrows? That's a very pricey thing to do, but...
Yes, even an adamantine arrow would.
I would
The
try
fire
to catch him.
damage thing for 20d6, there's
Yeah.
no object that could survive
Yes,
it.
there is.
Well, and
Fireball.
it's the density of that is really dense.
There's no arrow that could survive it, let's say that.
Alright.
The giant arrow god.
I will delay action then. I wait until something pops up that I can shoot.
Jimmy.
I will go ahead and ready action.
Dad, is there
I'm
a
going to
cold bomb
go
I
ahead
can
and
get
ready a.
At level 9.
What's that?
At level 9, is there a cold bomb I can get?
I don't know, buddy.
I want a cold bomb.
I can't. You know, I'm going to start prepping a. I'm going to start casting a dazing magic missile.
Wait, how is it?
It's a
not-
full round. It's a full round action.
It's a full round action.
You think-
Okay.
I'm expecting things are going to get ugly here.
Is there,
Collier.
is there magic?
I'm gonna step over here,
If there's
Okay.
a whole
and
bunch
then
of
if
lava
something
here,
threatens
why is
either of
the
these
upper
people
levels
next to
not
me, I'm
super
gonna
high?
give them a shield bonus.
Okay.
Why are they not super
So the first
high?
thing coming
there's
out.
also, There's also lava
now-
levels. That's probably. I should have prepared to action the bomb, but I don't know if I have an effective bomb. Probably
Let's
should.
see.
Well, probably should see if they're immune to acid, because they're immune to fire, definitely.
Yeah, they're definitely immune to fire.
Or they have a resistance.
Not even bothering us.
Actually, this one's medium, so he shouldn't be that big. He should only be taking up 1 square. So nobody readied, you delayed, right?
Yep.
He can't actually fly, so he's still gonna have to come over here,
And kill you guys, and that's surprised.
and I guess he's gonna hit Jeff.
That would hurt.
Oh, you get 2 extra AC.
AC 25.
That hits.
I didn't help.
So you're not gonna take the burn damage.
Which is probably most of it.
2 damage.
No.
What is the burn damage? I'm just curious.
2, maybe?
Oh, 1d6 plus 8 plus burn. Never mind. 10 damage.
Okay.
Ow, that hurts.
Wait, so if I had trying of strength, I can throw anything. Could I throw, like, a gigantic sword that I could be able to carry if I had more strength?
So then, George, you can move your initiative
Yep.
to that point.
Yep. Fortunately, I don't have knowledge as to
How much
what it
true
is.
strike?
But arrows to everything.
Or is it
I
only
mean,
true strike for
cold
me?
iron,
Yeah.
blunt, freezing
Yeah, generally
arrows.
covers my
Is
bases.
true strike
And-
Should
personal?
I true strike myself?
True strike
Just
is
as a-
personal.
Ah, dang it. What
You don't
did
have
I
true strike
do?
as a spell.
Oh, damn.
Well, that's all very average.
And it has to be a
Can
roll
be-
system.
16.
Oh.
So
okay.
29
So
to
even if
hit.
you multiply us,
As the
29
bonus.
hits.
Alrighty.
I know.
Roll
I've
4
thought
of
that.
those.
Trust me, I contemplated it.
Oh, damn.
Do.
So I wish I
Alright,
just had
so that's-
water. I just start dousing the lava in water until it becomes fully rock.
8, 64, 70 cold iron blunt,
That makes true strike
and
viable.
10 cold.
If you went ahead and just do it.
And next
Melee,
2 attacks
but with, like,
are 19 and 23 to hit.
23 hits, 19 does not.
Okay.
Actually,
Oh yeah, I just have 6 cold arrows going at the thing.
And that is another 20 physical and 3 cold.
okay, wizard, sorcerer, that's all.
Is your monster getting wrecked again, Dad?
Get it.
Yep. It seems to be the way that it goes.
You should just like.
It's stupid. But then you
It's
can
not,
go
it's just somehow
red
give us a
magic one hand,
colossal, like no
one
way
the other,
monsters but a
and
colossal
you
dragon.
manage quicken.
Well, you asked for it.
And
Yeah.
No.
And as they say, dragons
so 3
will
times
appear.
per day, you can trigger
And
a
I
quicken,
want to go up
first
these
strike,
stairs,
and then
so
attack the same round.
Wait, 2 dragons?
disappear. I think.
Yeah.
Oh.
That's hilarious. Right after it says.
Dragon.
I don't know that they're gonna be able to damage you though.
Oh.
Not
Fire
the first
breath.
round because
Whoosh.
of course they
Fire
use their
breath.
fireball.
So here's what I'll be able to do.
A fireball?
Add half of your shield's enhancement bonus to shield bonus
This is
AC
my
and
fire.
grant 2 allies in the fighting shield field.
Wait,
While using
I
the
want to
Vanguard
use
style,
Magic
which
Rights.
allows me to move.
That's actually a good question.
Because I can
it's
find-
supposed to
No,
be-
they do nothing with their freaking.
Their
So,
order retains
If
the
I
bonus
can look
to
that
fire
up, because if I
breath.
can't, I'll buy my Magic Rod and use that for
which
my
extraordinary
fireball.
becomes your move speed.
Well, the Magic Magic.
I always
Cool.
suspected
And
dragons
you
were
can
as
use
tough as I
bodyguard,
thought they
saving
were.
shield, and Vanguard style.
No,
Whenever
they're
an
weak,
ally
apparently,
moves
because
within
we
the
have a
threatened
bump.
area is the target of an attack. So basically,
So you going down to bodyguard feet?
Yeah.
Do you have bodyguard yet?
Josh.
I
Alright,
just took it.
I am going
Wait,
to
bodyguard allows you to step in
cast,
You don't,
as
you
a
can move,
swift
but you
action,
take
I'm
the
going to do
attack
Sacred Armor and Sacred Weapon on myself,
I took
using one of my fervors, and then I'm going to just,
No, you can
My-
only do. I think you can only activate one.
if I use a fervor, I can do both at
Okay.
the same time,
So,
so
would
that's
a regular bomb not do as much damage to a dragon?
what was it?
Depends on the type of dragon.
I'm guessing they're red.
It's explosive.
And then I am just going to make,
They're probably reddish.
I'm going to use Power Attack and go 2 on the
They're,
guy.
they're,
That's
Okay.
the one that
technically
injured me
red
right there.
dragons, but they're
I'm
not
assuming.
red dragons.
I can get an angle on him there.
They need another.
To improve an ally's AC.
29.
As long as you
Come
make
here,
it
Nick.
DC 15, you add plus 2 normally.
As your action.
Like you can use an attack of
So normally,
opportunity.
that's a standard action. to do
19
that.
slashing on the first
Then
one,
you can do it as an
and
attack
then
of
second
opportunity
attack.
instead.
That should hit as well. That's 22 to hit.
22 hits as well. I bet he's actually dead on the first attack.
Oh.
What?
Oh,
When
wait.
he dies, he explodes. But I
Oh,
don't know
Let me guess.
if this is
Into
going to be able
fire
to.
damage.
I don't know if this one's going to be able to do any better than the last one.
And that would be a lot of damage.
2 more dice. 10, 25, 28.
Oh, so you're saying his
But
death
actually,
was-
these 4 squares solidify temporarily when he
That's cool.
explodes.
That's cool.
temporarily, someone jump across it.
And you think that they'll melt again as normal.
Water go.
Jeff.
Okay, everybody who's injured, raise your hand. Just me? Okay. I suppose a cure light wound will take care of it.
Something,
If we
something,
didn't have-
stand behind me.
Sounds like we would have taken about 70 damage. If each one of us 70 damage by that opening round of enemy attacks if we didn't have fire damage.
Yes,
Oh yeah.
I've healed myself.
Yeah, this would be real.
I think that's one of those encounters we're supposed to run from, but I don't think I'm gonna.
No.
Wait, I get 2 ranged attacks?
Yeah.
No, with my Bracers of Falcon, they give me 2 ranged attacks, so I would have 3 bombs?
No. The Bracers of Falcon doesn't give you multiple ranged attacks.
It says
It
plus
is
Your
1.
basic, your basic
No.
attack bonus does.
Plus 1 to your chance to hit.
It says plus 1 ranged attack, so I didn't know what it means. Okay.
That means plus 1 to your chance to hit with the range attack.
So I can only go 2
So
bombs.
who was up? Oh, you healed yourself, Jeff.
I did.
So there's a Zorn here. Apparently he's standing in the middle of the room next to the spire trying to eat, just like mouthing
Just
the
eating.
spire. So I guess he doesn't really factor
That's
into.
disgusting.
Yeah.
No, what
The
language?
Zorns are those weird things with like 4 arms and their mouths on the top of their head, and they're earth elementals.
Yeah.
But it seems as though his only agenda is to stand next to the spire and try to eat it. So.
What
I
do you
can
mean?
tell.
Hey, we're dungeoning
I
here. It's
remember
not breaking our
last year.
Brings us back to Asher.
I got on the good side of a Zorn because I happened to be carrying a 10-point gem instead of a platinum piece. And the Zorn comes up to me, sniffs me like a bloodhound.
Okay, we're back. Okay.
For 10 gold coins, I
Can't
had-
believe It's all Alex Ho and Jacob Gonzalez's fault. They went, like, you saw the minus counter. They took them that long to go through turns. And I don't even remember who won. I'm guessing Alex won. But we're back, and we have... It's not Ricky. Get out of here. We have...
Where's this one?
He doesn't matter, right? He's over here on the Emerald Spire.
That he is. Okay. I throw a perfectly normal,
Are you gonna
regular
stand
bomb.
on this spot?
No, I mean, move somewhere. I move like...
You're gonna provoke anywhere you move, buddy.
Don't move.
I'll get this right. Nicky Mac. And he is going up against Jake Holmes.
Okay, so I drop down to the floor.
Okay.
So hard to type without hands. Okay. Now Jake is on Infect. And I don't know what Nick's on. But we'll figure it out. We will find out together.
So you can throw fireball or acid bomb?
Okay. So Jake's going to start us off with the forest in play, and we're going to follow that up with a red-blue fastland into a Seaman Visions. It is possible he could be playing Bird, or it could just be a terrible deck.
One for that one and one for that. Okay.
Okay, so he drew a card, now he's deciding how to scry. Where am I?
Much that 18 plane without my plus 13.
Okay.
30 something. Yep, so both
So
sides.
give me your...
Oh, that's a puppy. There it is. Okay. So, we were just brainstorming and discussing.
Plus side is you can have fire NDR that even if it does melt.
We were up there discussing,
As long as you don't go, oh, that's what was actually really
yeah, he is an uncommon, so he's not on the reserve list. This is the #1 card that I want in Modern Horizons. Soldier of Fortune. Want it so bad. I would kill somebody in front of their mothers to get a Soldier of Fortune in Modern. Oh, that or a banding. And if you're not going to give me a banding card, give me...
He takes the 6 next round, right?
Give me defensive formation.
Next round he'll get 5.
Defensive formation, I'd be happy with that too. Just give me the ability to band.
Tell me the total.
Jake getting in with the poison counters.
30 damage?
That was for the first bomb.
No.
And he will take me, that's without the 6 damage from acid.
Bing! The banners work. The banners work.
Every 6 next
Oh!
This is the second bomb.
It's a thing in the pants. Okay.
Wait, yeah. 26.
So Jake got in with a Glistener Elf, or possibly with the Ink Moth Nexus.
Jimmy.
Does it seem like all damage went through?
Oh, that's Blink
I
Moth.
will hit.
There it is. The
4
Ink
missiles
Moth
into this
Nexus
guy, and 1 missile into this
is
guy.
a 1/1 flyer with
Oh,
Infect.
this is a Days in one. Much better.
And it looks like the Glistener Elf got busted. Probably a bolt of some sort.
22 will save. Oh, sorry, that's right. No, DC 23. DC 23.
And of course, Thing in the Eyes. Whoops.
Jesus.
Yeah, 30 might help there.
Thing in the Ice is an 04 defender
23 is a great.
that comes into play with 4 ice counters on it. And
Damage this guy.
when you cast 4 instants or sorceries, yeah, when you cast an instant or sorcery, you get to remove an ice counter, and then he gets to flip, and it bounces all non-horrors back to their owner's hands, and is an 8 or is a 7/8. So Jake's gonna fire up his Ink Moth Nexus.
previous one as I was
Correct.
casting my spell, so I can do another one.
And we are Blossom. Is that, or is that might have?
Do it again.
Do it. Do it.
I don't know why I'm guessing.
The dragon might die.
Oops. Wrong one. That's the wrong
yeah,
one.
I might as well.
Alright,
I'll
so
start
he
grabbing
dealt
another
5 more poison.
full round action. Oh no, you know what?
Oh.
I'll take it back. I'm actually going to do a
6 more poison, so we're at 7 poison now. Nicky Mac is,
I know. I'm gonna
okay, so thing in the eyes. He
No,
thought
but
scoured
I'll
himself.
hit the area. So I can do a
He's got 1 more. Why did he draw 2?
2 will save this round, or in their days for 2 rounds. If I do a stone call, but it's going to hit the guy that's
On
back
the
there.
ground because he hit you.
I give this up to the group in general. Want me to daze everybody and
Alright.
daze that guy too?
So Nicky V, or Nicky Me, Nicky Mac.
Aim up in the air.
No, it
The
comes
dragons are a lot taller
it
than
comes
him.
from the air and comes down in a
Ah.
ring of
Oh,
stone.
actually, I didn't knowledge check on these guys first. Sorry.
Oh,
What's the knowledge?
yeah.
Arcana.
Okay.
Does that fit?
20.
Oh, it fits! Nick Mac Paddywhack.
18, so you know they're magma dragons. But you have
Surgical.
one question only.
I got 18. That was.
Fire
Do I get a
attack.
question too?
Weaknesses.
18.
On your turn, buddy.
Weakness is gonna be cold damage, sure.
Alright, well, I'm gonna use
Okay, so he fired up the Ink Moth.
Special attacks.
Inquisitioned,
We know who does it.
or not Inquisition, but
Spell resistance.
Nope.
Okay.
surgical.
That's.
But they don't.
It was. What did that? It's almost closer to
Surgically extracting the Glistener Elf in response to flip,
that, or-
in response to the attack to flip the thing in the eyes
Good, I'm not playing a witch.
Oh, yeah.
and
All dragons
bounce
have
the Ink Moth back to his hand. So now,
So, as per society rules, I'm not allowed.
now
to
we have another Infector.
Unless
No,
the player
you're not allowed to do player versus player combat. So
Well, I don't know. If I cast a
if
spell,
you catch him in an area
Green.
that's it is allowed, especially if he doesn't
object to it.
object.
So, I can attempt to daze these
No,
guys
I
right
could
now,
just not.
actually,
Okay.
but it will hit you.
Well, then I won't.
CMC.
Well, it's just a
So it costs 2. It's not a Mamba.
It's only does
I
two.
would
What
say
in
it
the
as a
world?
full nat 20. I know, I couldn't
Wait,
make it. I
what's your
couldn't.
will
It only, it costs 3.
How is your will save only a +1? You're a
Ah, it's a Viridian Corruptor. Ah, it comes into play. It destroys an artifact. Okay.
What was the alchemist weak one? I
Oh, yeah, right. They get Fortin Reflex, which is what you'd think they'd have a will save because they're a spellcaster.
There we go. That's his Infector on the field right now. The Viridian Corruptor.
Okay, so yeah, he would have to get a 20. So you will be dazed for 2 rounds.
All right, thing in the eye gets through.
No, I'm a 20 automatically.
Deals a beat down to the face of Jake, and we're gonna bolt the
Or I do a full
Corruptor.
round action. You know what? I'm not gonna cast a spell that risks hitting you.
Jake just needs to push through
Action.
3 more. In fact,
Start casting my
there's 2 of it. Oh no, you saved that back.
dazing magic missile.
Why didn't you? Oh no, it's the Blink Moth that you can beef up another Blink Moth.
I'm gonna activate my Sacred Armor.
So swing.
Weapon.
Okay.
So my AC went up, and for Sacred Weapon, it's gonna be cold and shocking added onto it.
Blossoming Defense.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna spend a point of fervor to enlarge person.
Okay.
And now I'm gonna hit one.
So, Blossoming Defense, target creature you control gets +2/+2 and gains hexproof until end of turn. And Jake gets their game number 1.
Collapse under my weight.
Beast.
Alright.
Beast on the east side of the map.
It'd be much deeper for you to be
Submerged. They
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
That was awesome. That was fantastic. Whoops. That's not the right one. Let's reset the infect counters because everybody starts with 0 and everybody has...
The discovery to let other people
I can get it because I'm
do you have infusion, buddy?
I have
2
infusion,
from
yes.
the morale bonus.
No, then I'm not sure.
So,
And technically, if there's discovery, I can get it because I saw
I
it.
get
on-
plus
so I,
strength.
No, you're
Minus one for-
So yeah, Jake took out the captain in round number 1 with the infect, and now he's looking to take out this thing in the pants deck.
Yeah. Okay, so you increase the damage, not.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's +3 from whatever you've got written.
Yep, and if you hit, you can discharge one spell.
What? No. Does a 20 hit?
20.
Oh.
I tried.
George.
He's full of arrows.
Alrighty. Now we're getting ready for game number 2, and while we do some sideboarding, I would like to remind everybody that we are still collecting subscriptions over on the YouTube channel.
I think this one was hurting more. I did 10 damage and 5.
There it is. We're gonna slap Ben Seidel. It's gonna happen. We're gonna get 100 subs. When we reach 100 subs, we are absolutely slapping Ben Seidel. He wants it to happen. We want it to happen. We gotta make it happen. So, tell your, if you're not already a subscriber, go over there, hit that subscribe button, and then tell your friends, tell your neighbors, tell your parents, tell your pets. Subscribe to the Zone 521 on YouTube, and together we can slap the ever-loving hell out of Ben Seidel. It's gonna happen, and I'd rather it happen sooner than later, but gotta have your help to do it. So that's where we're at on that.
22 does hit.
Now we're getting ready for game number 2, round number 2.
16 cold iron blunt and 5 cold. So it's 21 total.
I find it amazing that we can just take out dragons like this in like 2 turns.
Okay, well he's gonna full attack.
Ew.
The person who's standing in front of him.
I'm gonna tail whip me into lava or something. Because that is entirely possible now. No,
My AC is 32.
he's in my square. If I move,
You're over there.
you know,
Ba da ba. Ba da ba da ba. Ba da ba da ba ba.
yeah, he could reach me. Like he can just turn, hit.
That's cute.
Damage.
Alright.
I dig it.
Any of it fire or anything like that?
I'm ignoring the
That's kind of similar to what we saw in those pajama bottoms.
Then 2 claws. One of those hits.
You've been rolling really well today.
Got to every once in a while for 14 damage.
Yeah, but he still managed not to jump me.
2 wings. This one has only plus.
So you did a 20 on that to hit him.
Yeah.
Okay.
He still gets free attacks.
Oh yeah, a natural 20 on that to hit him. He's gonna hit him any other thing.
Actually, 4 is here.
Josh.
How big is your spear?
I am going to look out to the big guy in front of me, and I'm going to cast Glorious Presence on him.
Alright.
Sanctuary.
Everybody is shuffled up.
Will
Cuts
save
are made.
attack him, fails the will save.
And to wrap up February,
Take an offensive action.
Yeah, I mean,
we have our Cold Steel Heart.
Actually, maybe not.
That's the background.
Yes. Deal damage.
You get to see the Cold Steel Heart.
Cast Blast.
It's pretty cool.
Everybody who doesn't have
It's a nifty little artifact. It gives you mana. It's a snow artifact, so it produces snow mana.
Okay. First of all, this is 2d6 hit kill him. That would be 7 damage.
Why is it 2d6, buddy?
Because I got 2 bombs off him.
No, you threw 1 at each.
No, I threw both at him.
You said one
No,
each.
you threw 1 at
I
each,
said
buddy.
1 on him and then 1 on him.
Why did you say 1 on him and 1 on him? Both of them were on the same
Yeah,
person.
I had it damaged down on 2 different ones.
Well, it's gone 6.
You know, he's still alive.
2 more bombs on him.
Okay. His touch AC is 12, buddy.
So, as long as you don't roll a 1, I think that's a hit.
No, you can hit him.
Odd 1 out of misses.
I can do this. Rise up! Ah! Oh! I don't know why that's so funny to me, but it is. Okay. Jake's going to start in with a tapped breeding pool, because it does him no good, because apparently he doesn't have anything. Thing in the Pants comes back. McCarthy comes on strong with a Thing in the Pants.
Hey, I don't need to waste my spell that I was trying to cast. I go, okay.
And...
How long does it last?
Yes.
9 rounds. Or, sorry, 8.
Somebody here?
Alright.
Who?
I have to remember quick.
Out there?
You have a minute?
So
Okay. We'll have to check them out. See what they got.
he's over here.
I'm gonna hack off Crystal and give it to here's Crystal.
So, we do have an Invisible Stalker.
I really don't know what the point of trying to do anything with this Zorn is.
Let's get out of here.
Wait,
Can we take the blade and see how deep the lava is?
Invisible Stalker is, of course... Oh, no, that's not him. It's... Oh, no, no. It's, Oh, what's the... Blighted Agent.
Replaced one of its eyes with a topaz.
There we go. The Blighted Agent. That's the Infect one. I was thinking, Invisible Stalker's the Hexproof one. But Blighted Agent can actually absolutely be killed. And did get killed. Alright, so 2 Ink Moth Nexi come down.
Under the elemental plane, eating rock.
Jake fires up the Ink Moth and gets in for 1 beastly poison counter.
So how are the rest of you guys getting across this?
He's gonna cast fly on me while I'm enlarged, and I'm gonna ferry them over.
First of all, did that platform disappear yet?
Yeah, after a few rounds it disappeared.
He's still on it, I'm assuming.
I'm assuming that's sufficient for us to get over that way?
Sure.
Okay.
Alright.
So it's burning the cross.
Create water.
And we are flashing back the Faithless looting. Glistener Elf now comes down for Monsieur Holmes.
20 gallons.
1 more spell and she's going to get bounced because of Thing in the Eyes.
No. Do this for like 6
I'm
hours.
gonna use it spitefully.
A cantrip.
Dump it on
As you
people's
come out to
heads.
the next room,
Is that God I'm old?
pour from the chamber's uneven ceiling, flooding the cavern except for
Gee, I'm old. Ah, okay.
shores on the east and west side.
I get it. I thought it was G period I'm old, so. I was like, God, I'm old.
The Emerald Spire
I mean, take it as you will.
running from the
Gee,
floor
I'm
to the
old.
ceiling
That's
to the
cute.
drain pool below. The western shore,
The
just
real
out
great
of the
American
diagonal
heroes.
road, not far from the Emerald Spire. Scratched on the
Alright,
floor is a growing
Thing in the Eyes
moon
comes down.
in the
Glistener Elf got
chamber's
bounced.
eastern shore.
And Thing is a beastly 7/8.
Shore, and there are 2 creatures here.
Is it T-pose or is it just T-shape?
One
Yeah,
speaks
dude.
only lies and one speaks only lies.
So this
And
is
we
a
are
kind of
thought
plan
scouring,
to use this little section over here.
attacking with the Thing in the Pants.
Why are they attacking us?
Jake has no answers, goes to 7, or goes down 7.
I'm just trying to get across to it. If I would known, I would have poured
We're very
water.
intentionally doing it.
Number 13.
This is not our home.
Ah, it's the second green source. Okay, Blighted Agent comes back. Glistener Elf.
Okay.
More in there.
So we have a blocker and we have potential death next turn.
Oh, well,
Initiative.
It does not trample.
I'm at like 2/3.
I'll certainly get to you.
Okay.
Asher.
I could do it
I'll
too.
take it.
I'm
25.
just cheating with my spell slots, that's all.
Jeff.
17. Yes, I wasted
George.
17.
That is a 14.
Yeah, Thing in the Ice does not trample. So as long as he's got a blocker out there, that's all that truly matters. Now,
Holy symbol looks like
does Nick have a way to clear the way for his awakened horror
Josh.
to beat him in?
Asher.
And we're opting.
You're up.
Take a look at that card. Do you like it?
So, do I know anything weakness?
It's a proxy of some kind.
Do we roll a check on this?
They are vulnerable to cold, vulnerable to water, immune to electricity, Elemental traits, immune to fire.
Oh, apparently this is a Phoenix
Are
deck.
they immune to acid?
No.
Bomb.
Okay.
So it's supposed to be a bird deck, but he's not doing a very good job of birding. I guess I should have figured that with the Faithless Looting, but...
Yeah, and are you throwing both bombs at one or one bomb at each?
Alright, so we're opting to put that on the bottom and then drawing the card.
Yeah, both bombs at one. Yeah, that's
Okay.
easy.
Did you roll your second attack?
And we're opting again.
Well, you don't know that.
Let's take a look at that card.
You have to hit the touch AC.
And we're bottoming that one as well.
No, it's minus 2.
Oh, oh, sorry, it's red. Sorry.
He
Okay,
actually, technically, I think you can throw some around, but you can throw
Are we
five.
opting again?
Minus 4 on all.
Yeah, why don't you put the other opt into your graveyard as well? Because... There you go. Since we're moving ops into graveyards, so Think of the Pants goes attacking.
Attack yet.
I think he just takes it.
He's using
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Goes to 6 like a man.
No, he has his
No,
reserve.
you have an reserve, because by the time that you
And Thought Scour. You're gonna mill himself twice. That's a Thing in the Ice, and that's a land. And then you're gonna draw himself another land, but it looks like it's a Polluted Delta.
He will throw 1.
Nick cannot mill a birdie to save his life. And that's probably good because we're really pulling for Jakey Boy here.
18. Okay. So it might be
Alright.
not throw.
Ooh, that looks like it's a, is that a Become Immense?
So it is worth it to not throw it.
Because missing sucks.
Right.
Especially this level with the damage.
I don't think you have enough to cast Become Immense. It's 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. It's not enough. You don't have enough to cast it. Activate. Ink Moth up. It might be a Blossoming Defense, though.
Okay. Jimmy.
Also, I'll move.
Let's just go ahead and throw it.
If it's a Blossoming Defense, then it's
The one that we
3, 4, 5.
Yeah, the one that's just been there
So
for like
3.
yeah, that.
Is there anyone in the party that's immune to non-lethal?
I mean,
So 3 Infect coming at you.
So
hit me
17
with non-lethal.
plus.
Oh, that must be a Pendlehaven.
Is,
I would believe that's a Pendlehaven. So
Because one my
Okay.
he does take it. 1, 2, 3 goes to 4 Infect.
I'm going to use my reaction to stop him from moving that close.
That's not enough.
I just have to do a combat maneuver.
Is not enough. Now you have to block it, and you've left yourself wide open for
Was it this one I was
for
moving?
bird, or not just bird, but if you activate the Blink Moth, then you have to save back the Blossoming Defense to save it, and that could have been death next turn. But
Do bonuses to the weapon
let's see how it plays out.
Yeah, you're
as long
like,
as you're
nope.
using that weapon.
I have +1 from
So
no, it's plus
Nick
2.
takes out his life from a fetch. Not that it's gonna matter. You do not die by death. You die by disease
so I have +3.
when you play against Infect.
+12 to this.
Fetches out a mountain. You might as well shock and get something good at this point.
Yeah, this would be after Frostbite. There's another 2 from
Plus 2 from large.
Okay, so we got a cut. Jake deciding that that shuffle was good enough.
Do you get the one
CMD 31.
Nope.
That's
And goes ahead and cuts the deck anyway, because even though Nick didn't really offer it, which is what he's supposed to do. Alright, so we've got a Thing in the Pants.
You.
Are these large?
No, they're medium.
And
Critical.
was that a flashback, the Faithless Looting?
37.
Activating the Ink Moth
You might have spot critical.
and go to blocks. Block the blink. Block the beast.
Permanent's critical.
Yeah.
So
Whoever that is gets +2.
that has a -1/-1 counter on it because it withered.
15,
Not that
20,
I'll-
24 damage.
Alright.
And then against
Yep, there you go. Thank you. It is a sad counter.
I help. What if I roll a 14?
Josh.
Alright.
Alright, Jake has to deal 6 poison. He's got 4 available on the board. This is bad. Oh. Pre-combat? Wild Defiance. Wild Defiance. So whenever target of an instant or sorcerer spell, that creature gets a +3/+3, and then he's sitting at. Oh, come on! Who'd you play this time? Oh, he was upset because he lost the Infect.
Okay.
So he had to take it out on you.
And I strained my beady-looking eyes.
Right.
Looks like there's 2 opponents. Correct. Excellent.
Well,
Channel positive energy, exclude the 2
have a good night. Okay. Sure. I mean, he showed up. That was Stubbs not having the best of nights. Okay, so, and then he laid down a
Everybody recover 27.
Dryad Arbor. So that's a blockable. And swinging for 2.
And they're dead.
Wait, do you still have the...
I'm at 68 out of 92.
He hastily aimed 3 and perfect shot. That's 51. That's more injured.
Alright, so swinging in for 2 Infect Effect. Does Nick have an answer? Takes 2. Goes to 6 Infect. Passes the turn. Jake gonna hold.
First attack, 20. Sorry, 6 chance to hit.
Did you?
26 hits. Yeah. Okay.
Oh, he's before he untaps. He's opting at the end of Nick's turn or Jake's turn. Okay. What does Nick get?
Okay. Next attack. 18 physical, 2 cold.
Okay, there he's
I say, these guys are bigger than the.
Alright, and then the other one.
Got an arc like Phoenix.
Ones that die faster.
He got there.
Alright, next. Does a 24 hit?
The one that...
yeah.
The arc like Phoenix is a 3/2 with haste. And just as expected, the Dryad Arbor jumps valiantly in front of
31.
and McCarthy does get the burn off and fights through the Infect to pull out victory in game number 2.
I got a cinder in my eye.
Was that an area effect?
It's a 5 foot.
See, the reason I ask is, I happen to have a fire domain, and I am somewhat resistant to fire automatically.
We're all about to use now. Alright.
Oh
So
yeah, if a
Cool
fire...
breeze blows across your face and you feel great.
You gotta space this out a little bit more, because there we go.
41 physical, 7 cold.
Not as spelled out, but still there. Nick Mac Paddywhack.
Alright, critical.
Goodbye, Barb.
Confirmed. Alright.
I'll never understand the Barb love. I mean, you don't. Okay. There's not this level of love for Kevin Bacon from Nightmare on or Friday the 13th. What? Train Up? No, Johnny Depp was Nightmare on Elm Street. Friday the 13th was Kevin Bacon. Johnny Depp died in the middle of the movie, but Kevin Bacon died like the first of the new people to die. So there's no Kevin Bacon love. There's no like Team Kevin for Friday the 13th. I don't understand. Barb was wrong place, wrong time. You know, sometimes people have a crappy life and they don't get their deservings. You know, I love that Barb died. I love that Barb died, like, at a low point in her life. Because not everybody is going to get that uplifting and they lived happily ever after kind of story. Sometimes a whole train of crappy things happen to you and then you die. So yeah, I feel good that Barb did not get found alive in the underneath or in the upside down. I'm glad that she did indeed meet her maker, bit the big one, died.
I think he said he was gonna heal me.
Okay. So, when Nick found a phoenix, he finally won. Let's see if he can actually dig one to the death. Okay, it looks like he's got 3 phoenix eyes in the hand, unless he has more than phoenix proxies. Which is a possible. Alright.
How much of it did you waste?
Not much. Like 10.
No, Greater Devil I think we could take on at this point. All its attacks are not physical, they're all fire.
So, you come to the next room, a natural stairwell opens up, you have to cross lava again.
So
I see you still have duration on the fly.
The duration of the fly would have been a 9-minute duration.
there's a monkey. Oh, there's a combi.
A natural stairwell opens in a humid cavern.
Where are you at?
Rivulets of water run across the floor from a sweating portion.
The exact opposite way that I'm going, so.
From a sweating portion on the eastern wall composed of transparent crystal. So those steps are the ones that go down to the next level. So you can see...
Alright, gonna shock himself down to 18 and play a Noble Hierarch. And we are cracking a fetch to get a Steam Vent, so we're starting off strong in this 18 to 17 head-to-head.
Look through over into this area. It looks like it's the wall, like it was an aquarium.
And he's gonna cast a Seaman Visions to draw a card and then take a gander.
Here as well, some sort of ooze creature.
Nick is really bad about remembering to offer his deck for his opponent to cut. Alright, so we drew a card, and now scry 2.
I think I'm actually pretty full on those. I had like 5.
No, thank you.
They were very tasty.
Alright, Nicky did not find what he was hoping for, maybe, possibly, I don't know, but we now have an Ink Moth down, so Noble Hierarch and an Ink Moth. Are you going to cast? Oh, no cast! Oh, no Glistener Elf, no Blighted Agent, no nothing, really.
So give me a perception.
Next turn he'll have a Exalted Ink Moth, but that's next turn, and Nick probably has a Grip of Burn. Tapping 3. Okay.
And you're able to discern that the crystal formations is
that thing back.
actually a
Wild
magma
Defiance.
ooze that was petrified. So there's no fight here unless you decide to spend magic to unpetrify.
So
the ooze
it
so
makes
that you can
a
fight it.
bolt worthless against any of these creatures.
Yeah, so it doesn't look like a magical petrification.
So in response, we're going to Lava Axe.
Attracted by the
Discard a
flow of
bird.
magma, a crystal and magma
We're going to go ahead and get that Hierarch out the way.
portion of the east wall collapsed, dousing it with water from a now dry spring. Lilgood immediately petrified the creature, causing its crystalline body to seize and ultimately form this clear barrier. Should the water in the area be removed, the ooze reverts back to its natural, utterly rapid.
So it was a Lightning Axe.
Doesn't it create water on it a bunch of times just to be a jerk?
Yeah.
I didn't say that sounds like a dangerous thing to keep around. Just kill it.
So
Just
you
petrify it.
continue.
Much further out.
So
Actually, so you can
deciding
tell
to
now
pitch a
that there
bird
is this Jaeger
to deal 5 damage to a
here,
critter.
but you can't
And that
tell
critter was the Noble
necessarily how to
Hierarch.
Get to it.
Just like blocking it. Let's go.
But the way to get to it is to go back and to
So another
go
fetch shock.
through this lava tube here.
Okay,
Through a
let's
tube
go.
of lava.
Is there any air in that? I just not.
It's like
So
a
15.
where the falls are. So you have to go over to where the falls are and then go down the falls.
So 15.
Let's go.
He didn't have to fetch
but
for
with
the
flying
second one. He
still
just
active,
shocked it
you
into
can
play.
Theoretically do it.
We all climb like it was.
The dragons would be there if they're still alive. They're not.
Wow.
A wall of stone.
One whole
separates
riffle.
the molten rock from a broad pit filled with a trickle of boiling water.
Full of broads, eh?
Sounds fill the chamber.
All right.
Flames,
So semen
water,
visions.
And this is where the dragon's hoard is. A pile of coins plus a few pieces claimed from the creatures passing through its dungeon. 84,000 copper, 12,000 silver.
So
289
Nick does have a
gold,
spell, or Nick,
jet
Jake does
flex
have a
gold,
spell pierce in hand, so
elixir of
that's
fire
gonna be
breath,
good.
Tree feather token, cursed berserking sword, belt of giant strength plus 2, locked steel case etched with skulls, which has some ancient pages that include a copy of the Book of the Damned.
Pele demands sacrifice into the lava.
No. Magical bubble.
Just kidding, that's not my god.
So bottom off the semen visions.
Going back,
He's got birds in hand, just no way of discarding them at the
Book of
moment.
Damned. It's an artifact that I think gains you a level if you're evil and read it.
So no Pathfinder
McCarthy.
player can use it.
No, because this is no Pathfinder Society player could use.
Oh, Terramander. Okay, so not all.
Lava?
No.
I'm for this.
Money.
If we can't use it,
It's
nobody should use it.
It's made of human flesh.
Terramander.
Sounds very burnable to me.
Radiates a permanent unhollow. Any good creature that willingly touches it must succeed it.
Terramander.
Fortitude save or be slain.
It is a 1/1 that will
Evil being
adapt
godlike
very
power,
easily, very quickly.
Using it can.
So
Yeah, it does lots of stuff for evil people.
Okay, so.
But fortitude or
Okay, I rolled a nat 20. I touch it. I put it in my
Willing.
backpack.
So
Yeah, I
Jake
willingly touch it and put it in my
mana
backpack.
hosed at the moment,
So you come back over
and
here,
we're
and the last
discarding.
chamber is this J11, which I guess you should have hopped across 5 feet of lava to get to earlier.
Tapping everything to play a bird.
Arrow pocket cuts its way through the black gray stone.
So we now have a Terramander and we have an Arc-like Phoenix.
Cast another blast. I presume the first one.
The
will-
Terramander does not have haste.
Reacher here. Give me a.
Oh, he must have.
Check. Hooray.
There, nat 20.
Uh,
26.
You notice the armored figure half buried in the wall. Its chest
Alright,
does
so
not
Jake
seem
takes
virgin,
one from the
but its right side of the
Terramander.
head buried under a thin crust of cooled lava.
Draw pass. My God, Jake, not like this. Not like this.
Kalia root inevitable.
Mountain comes down. Now Nick has 4 attack power on the board right now, and he's going to adapt pretty much.
Okay, because you said you have
Oh,
26.
choosing not to adapt. Okay.
I thought you were intelligent.
Oh, well, I.
Jake finally pulls that 3rd mana that he's been needing oh so very desperately.
Does that have 1 rank in it then?
What's he gonna do with it though?
I mean,
Because
it's
Phoenix is a
yeah,
3/2.
Skills have fallen behind on being
Yes.
updated.
Yeah, I know.
probably not a classical, but in 1 rank so we can.
This is maybe a level 6/7 character.
Yeah, so a Kalia root, and he is trapped.
The
I'll break him
How
out.
can he get just using the tag?
Okay,
What is it?
A DC 20 strength check.
The Arclight Phoenix is a 3/2. And the Terramander does adapt, and he gets in for 5.
Yes.
Jake not looking so hot right now. Really needs something strong
And its head is buried under the
to
lava.
stay alive in this game.
I'll assist.
Taps a green, fires up the Ink Moth.
I fail at assisting.
It's gonna run headfirst
I
into
rolled
a
19 total.
Might of Old Croza.
The weak
So
version of it.
you break him free,
It's
and
it.
he immediately
If you cast during your main phase, you know, addendum. Essentially original addendum. So he gets a +7.
I'm not lying. Let's find the most offensive language he knows and speak in that.
No, no, no.
Wait, what?
Why would you do that? We're trying to befriend this, not kill it as I pulled out 4 bombs in my hand.
Did it?
Behind my back, 4 bombs. We're trying to befriend this as I'm speaking.
So Might of Old Kroza
4 bombs in front of my
got 7, 8.
Speech? Oh, wow.
What's that?
It speaks all languages.
So what-
Dag yo.
Common, you speak-
Dag yo.
You're fine.
That is
Can you become a vet?
a horrible turn of events. Nick McCarthy pulls out his first victory on the year to go 1-1, and Jake Holmes unfortunately also falls to his first loss, putting him also at 1-1.
Sent to join its
Ah.
war with Proteans on level 15.
So
Couple levels from
let's
now.
see here. We got 10 minutes left in the round. I'm going to try to find the third match.
Proteans are chaotic
Who should we
people
have
outside.
up? What do we got? We got
Kind of like
Stubbs, who's here.
snake-like wall,
We got Bryce. I'm inclined to put Bryce up.
For a couple levels until we
I think
get down
I kind of want to see
No, you will
Mr. Puddleson.
disappear at the end of the session, no matter what you do.
So yeah,
there. If I take
let's go see if Mr. Puddleson would like to be on cam. If he does, great. If not, we'll find somebody else. Let's get these out the way.
You're like, no, you can't
Except for yesterday.
And I promise to be back in time.
So he's just trying to get to the
Uh,
level 15.
Hopefully, we don't have another situation where we're waiting like 10 minutes past round.
Level 15 of the
Yeah, a couple levels.
so that's it.
How'd you get level?
Okay.
Yeah.
So there's that. There's that.
I
Alright.
mean, when
What were
you
the T symbols?
when
Would
you
they be
drop
significant?
it's the Hell Knights drawing which way to go.
Alright. So again, I'm going to leave you with the sultry sounds of the Pathfinder Society as they look for resurrection.
No, you don't. No one knows now. What body wears?
I'll be right back. Hang on.
Take down 2 dragons in 2 rounds.
They did succeed their dazing. What was the will save, by the way?
Plus 10, so they roll like 13s.
Yeah.
They rolled like 17 and then
I rolled I rolled a 16 and a 17. So
Wait, I thought we would be done later than this, so I can't hear all this thing.
no, you cannot. As tends to happen, you guys have very powerful characters, so
Yeah, I completely wrecked this when my character's on your level. Let's go.
get 2 more of my checks now.
Okay, so do we need to roll some day drops? Because all I need to do is that 20 to get max.
Oh, is this one that we need to? What's the next like couple levels? We need to
Okay.
do half XP or
So this one is 8 through 10. Level 11 is also 8 through 10.
what's level 12 and 13?
Level 12 is 9 through 11, and level 13 is 9 through 11. 14 is 10 through 12, 15 is 10 through 12, 16 is 11 through 13. So you can't get higher than 13, and you have to be able to do 2 at level 12, 2 at level 11, 1 more at level 10 or less.
Okay, so you can basically just take half XP, half XP, half XP after your, as long as you're level 10 going.
If you're level 10 at this one, you have to do half the rest of the way.
what if you're level 9?
What's
If
the
you're level 9, you can do 1 more that you can take at full XP.
Well, he's saying after this, when you apply this sheet, if you're level 10, then you can take half XP. So this sheet bringing you up to
Wait,
exactly
where'd you
level
get the
10.
extra level from?
What do you mean where I get the extra?
I'm only level 8 right now.
You missed one, buddy.
Again?
No,
I
just
thought
the
we caught
one.
it up.
No, just the one you missed.
I thought we did that over the weekend that one time.
No, that was your witch that we caught up. That was your witch that missed one of Gallows of Madness, not this. You missed one of these levels.
I need to catch up on that one.
Does it have the level?
Yeah, that shows the levels.
I'm
Everything
always
is.
gonna be a little behind.
So no, because they have to start taking
Half level.
half levels,
Yeah,
half
but it's
XP.
In that case, I have to use some clever planning here.
What level are you, Jeff?
I'm level 10.
You're level 10.
Now, the question is there going to be another Spire adventure between the 16th of March and the 24th, inclusive.
16th and 24th. I think the next time I run is the Spire because we've been doing this for a year and a half now. I want to finish them out.
I did not fail to notice that.
I want to finish them out, so I'm scheduling the rest of the time when I'm running.
Did anybody buy something and get
After this one, all halves.
Yeah, because I've got 25 and a half.
All half
XP right now.
indefinitely?
For the rest of these ones, because you have to get through 2 missions per level,
Well, I can take 2 more levels up then.
and you'd be like sitting at the max for each of
Question
them.
mark?
Okay, so March 7th, there's Starfinder. March 14th is the next level of this. The 14th and the 28th are the next 2 of this.
Okay, I'll be here for the 14th
So
and the
this
28th.
stops
So
at
you
13.
need
What
half.
I
happens
need
after
half.
that?
I'm not sure if
After level 16.
Wait,
Uh,
yeah,
so
wait, what's
Are
the...
there more scenarios?
There are a few things above level 14, but not a lot.
You mean above level 15?
Yeah.
So you said the 14th is the next one?
Yeah, I want to finish the Spire. Dude.
Damn, I'll miss
Never
that
use
one.
this character again.
It's like every 2 weeks.
Yeah.
It's this Starfinder, this Starfinder, this.
One of the Starfinders.
Well,
I'm not gonna do.
the next 2 weeks I'm out of town, so I will not be able to make the next.
I could
mission.
run something then, if you'd like.
If you want to run something that week so that
Yeah, so
Well,
you
that
doesn't
would
miss
bump
an
the
Emerald
Spire.
And
Yeah,
other
we could-
people who still need levels, it could give a chance to catch up.
I don't think anybody's gonna catch up.
What?
oh jeez.
Well, no, I don't think anyone else can join the Spire unless they're
No,
pre-gen.
not in this. And even pre-genning after this is getting a little bit. Yeah, maybe not.
Yeah, like above level 10, it's not.
You have
Oh,
a day
you did
job.
okay. Sure.
But
I
you
got
can play the character just
adjusted,
fine.
uh,
Obviously,
three.
you're a war priest.
Oh, yeah. I've never played one before, but they're pretty.
Oh, really?
They're pretty.
They're like a
Thank
fighter and a
you.
You
cleric
should have
and
played
a
rules
man.
on the back of that sheet. Put the higher level version of what's on the back of your sheet right there.
Yeah, nothing
We
too
should have-
crazy.
We need to
I thought
probably
jumping into
one,
this level was
one
gonna be
fighter
more
slash
Uh,
Bane and then
so-
only
Otherwise, I'd be
Fun character.
half
Third
X.
line.
Asher,
Some
what level are you?
I am supposedly level 8 right now.
You're level 8. So this will take you to level 9. Then you'll go to level.
Actually, I think
And on the next
Okay, so
one.
this one will take you to 9. The next one will take you to 10. This one will take you to 11. This one at 11 will take you to 12. But then you have to do 2 at 12. So you have to take slow twice between now and the end of the Spire. When do you want to do it? Do you want to do it now?
No, I want to level up.
Okay, you want to level up right now.
I want to be at
You
least
get
last.
more gold later.
Yeah, but he wants to be not behind you guys.
Ah.
So
Yeah, no, I want to be ahead of you guys maybe because I will never actually
So I take half
complete
XP
Spire
right now.
because I can no longer physically do that because I'm too high
Yours
level.
is exactly level 10.
yes, you will miss
Otherwise,
one.
So I will never
Adventure
be able to
Spire.
finish. I will never
Which
be able to
I have
own
XP
all
when I
of
go
this
to-
land.
You have a day job check.
Yes, of course I have a
Oh,
day
no.
job check.
Because, so you finish this one, you're at 10. Once, then you're at 10 and a half for level
40?
that section. Then you hit level 11, you can be 11.
What?
What's
Finish that
40 on the
11
day
and a
job
half,
chart?
Finish that.
I don't know.
12,
I don't have a character with the day
I don't know. I never even got to 30.
Well, he gets plus his level to it. So
Oh wait, oh, isn't that?
Because the first one at max level is 10. So you take full, you're at 10 and a half for the next one.
Yep.
And then you're
Not
at
even.
11 exact.
So
11.
yeah, so I'd be at 10 and a half when max is 11.
If this was
Take half
full
XP.
up, I would
That
have
brings me
like
to-
close to 40 something.
11.
What level
11
are you hitting,
exactly.
Jimmy?
What?
What level is this character hitting yours?
I'll be 10.
Okay.
I'll be
yeah.
10 and a half. Probably. But that would be half XP would give me up to 11 for the. So this next mission is up to level 11, right?
So the one we're going into will be max at level 10.
Okay.
Then max 11, 11, 12, 12.
Okay, so. Yeah.
40.
If I take full XP, then I'll be 10 right now. Then if I take half XP, I'm at
40 is
still
115. That's
11.
where it maxes.
Half XP, I'm at 12. Half XP, I'm still at 12.
Yeah.
So basically, I almost.
So I might as well get full XP because otherwise I'll take half XP now and
Wait
then
a
I have to
minute.
take half XP.
So-
half XP.
Are we gonna switch the schedule and do the 28th I'll do the next one, and you want to run something in 2 weeks?
Yeah, I'll run.
Okay. So there, it won't be the 14th. I'm sorry. It'll be the 28th. Is the next Spire then?
Gotcha.
So wait.
Well, you had certain days where you couldn't play too. Does that work for you?
Yeah, I'm going to be out of state from the 16th to the 24th inclusive.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure I am free all through March, so yes, I should be good.
That's George. What's on yours next?
Yep, so I'm taking full.
You're taking
Dad, I know what next feat I want to be.
What's that?
I want to have the familiar feat because I can get the floating death ball.
Diaz.
Yes, because it turns out the master betrayed it or something, and so I get the float. Yes.
I think we actually can get your character whipped into having a familiar and having an improved familiar, buddy. If you want, we have to look at your characters this weekend.
I want the death ball.
Jesus Christ. I'm just the worst here. I
Maybe
keep
other
putting
familiars.
people's experience and prestige instead of the gold. And do you have a day job?
Oh, yes, it's 23.
23 is 20, which is 20.
I mean, I have to become lawful neutral.
Well, I want more than a gold
How
and a
often
half.
are
I
you up
guarantee
here?
you that.
Just once a month, but usually I'm only here on Saturday and Sunday.
Ah.
This is just a
I got a
Wait, no,
45 on my list.
Dad, I don't even need to take the feats. 2 prestige.
I know, I was
Out
trying
the
to
trash.
look, see if
And I can
there's
have
gonna
a
be any of those dates, but
2
I don't know.
2 prestige get
Some
points to
Most of the
secure
games I
as
play
our
are-
services.
I mean,
But if
I do
the
play
feats
5e
make
for
it
the
better,
most part.
I
I
will do
actually
that.
use a
Because
5e.
Yeah, I like it.
It's a lot friendlier
I want
to
the
people
most-
who've never
the
played
strength-
D&D
the best
before.
strengthened
For sure.
version
Whereas
of
this-
Azaz I can get.
You can customize your character a
I will
lot,
do full.
but the
Okay.
rules
I
are
can do
like
full.
learning
If I do
law
full and then
degree
half
practice.
For
extra,
sure.
everything
Yeah,
else.
definitely.
It's just so much
And
more
every
fun.
different scenario.
And I don't
like,
see myself.
a full new set of
Actually,
rules,
yeah.
which makes it like super hard to
I
know.
guess the past time say do half. It just occurred to me that I might play this character at GaryCon this next week, and if I do full, I can't do. I
Yeah.
literally cannot play this character
Correct.
ever again.
Alright, gentlemen.
So
See
I'll take
ya.
half because
Yeah,
that gives me
I'll
a
try to take off,
potential
too.
somebody I can play this character with somebody
Thank
else.
you guys for.
Yeah,
So do you have a Pathfinder Society number?
Me? No, I do
No,
not.
you do not.
No, this is my first
Do you
time.
have a day job?
Yeah, I got a 45 on that.
Yeah, you got max like me. Yay.
So
I'll be crazy.
I'm supposed to have numbers to give out, but I don't have them because I'm bad at
So wait, we
being
gained 17,000 gold.
in charge of these things.
17,000 gold.
But we
766
have
plus
time
150
if you want. We can sign you up,
No, that's
or alternately, you can sign up and then give me your number, and I can put in
Hey,
the credit
for
for
you,
this.
you
Okay.
can buy incredibly expensive heroes
I'm-
with chaotic
I don't
outsiders
even
like
know. I
arrows
may
for
actually have one from back in the
2,282
day
gold
when I
each.
Well,
used to
So-
come
if you want to
around.
just
You can
check
buy
and
that
email
for,
me
Vince
your
Mountain.
number
One hero.
when you either sign it up or find it, I can add you to the reporting.
Oh,
So
I
that
should
would,
get your cell phone number in case we're like late or anything. I can.
Yeah.
Did Jeff
you
get
and let
the,
you know stuff
pin?
like that.
Collier, did you decide you're going slow or
Full.
I should do full.
Well,
hey, you want more gold, you do full.
yeah, I don't think there's a problem with you going full this round because you'll have to do half XP all the rest of them.
Hey, I can do 2 full XPs. Because I'm
That's
this one.
interesting. You can take
I'll go full.
the little flying ball thing you have familiar.
Yeah, no, that's what I was
That's
saying.
what. Okay.
So if I do the improved feat thing, and maybe if it gets the flying with
I had so many
filler
spells left
better,
over.
I'll do
I
that.
have 6 first level, 3 second level, and 3 fourth level that I didn't
Basically,
use.
I'm
Yeah.
willing to waste 2
I had
feats
so many
on
spells
making it
too, they
better,
just
or
were
2 prestige
not
on making it better.
made for
No.
this game at
I
all.
don't
The
want
beauty
that.
part is, so I've got
That's
an
gonna happen.
Arcanist, so I cast spontaneously, but I prepare spells like a wizard would, so every session I can just
Wait.
mix and match my spell list.
Sure.
But I cast them spontaneously, so I go, okay, what do I need?
Nice.
And I go,
That's what I'm thinking.
my higher level spells, I go, oh, I need a 3rd level spell, and I don't have it prepared, well, I'll just use a 4th level spell slot, and I cast my 3rd level spell.
Yep.
That's wasteful.
Well, if I need a
if
3rd
you
level
need
spell.
it,
Yeah.
and that's what
Well-
you actually.
Well, that's what I used Fly for, actually. I was like, I'm out of 3rd level spells.
Why? There you go.
I had Windwalk actually. Could have saved my spell there, but I guess it didn't really matter. I had a scroll of Windwalk.
Scroll of Windwalk. Yeah,
It's like, oh,
yeah, so do you want to take my email and
Sure.
email me?
Yeah, that'd be great.
It's
just
love.
Wait, so I just realized if we all take
What
Azaz.
do you do in the air guard?
Non-destructive inspections. I look for cracks on airplanes.
Hey, have you seen a JLTV or FMTV? I'm one of the engineers who designed
I
it.
designed the
those?
FMTVs. You fucking suck.
I'm sorry.
You work for Oshkosh, or?
Indirectly, through Belcamp. I'm one of the
Those things
contractors.
suck.
So,
What do you mean they suck?
They fucking suck.
No, they're amazing.
No, the 915 is amazing.
So what is it?
Love
It's 2%.
dot Nate.
Or taking things. I'm taking
Gmail.com.
it makes my Azaz better.
So,
Perfect.
the prestige points.
What don't you
is
like about it?
You spend 2 prestige points.
That
per
middle
game.
C.
You can
They
shoot them
bounce.
in the
They're
tire,
loud.
and they will continue
Sure,
inflating their
run
own
flat
tires.
is neat.
Take a familiar
Humvees have run flats too.
Spend 2
Some of
prestige
them.
points
Oh,
to
some of
secure
them.
services. Nix out all of
I don't
that
know.
before the
They're
duration
fine.
of the game.
They're better than the
No,
old-fashioned
I'll
juice and a
spin the
half
two.
or the
Yeah.
So,
old.
so if you have the improved familiar feats and stuff, you can actually just, hey, yep, that's my
Yeah,
familiar.
no,
I mean, if you got
that's why I'm
complaints,
gonna
I'm
do.
the
That's
guy
my
to
familiar.
tell.
I'm not spending
I can let them know.
I mean,
Didn't change
I,
it.
if I think of any specific complaints,
if I
not
could-
that we would get the new ones for 100 years anyways.
What?
This bag is like dying. It is on its last leg here. So I'll switch the schedule. We're kind of out of 3 XP stuff that can be done in a single night for me to have you run.
I don't think we really need that anymore, though.
Yeah.
I mean,
Do you just
our
want to
character-
do a scenario?
Yeah, let's just do something fun.
What level range do you want to do?
I wouldn't mind running my alchemist, which is level 3.
Oh,
So
yeah.
anything in
1
there.
through 5?
Yeah.
I have plenty of 1 through 5s I can bring, so.
Yeah,
Okay,
yeah.
that's an easy
Come
enough one.
season's
That's
lows.
because I want to.
I will grab a random 1 through 5 and send it to you then.
Okay. And I go through that XP.
Well, nice to meet all of you.
Yep.
Have a good rest of your evening. I've got the.
Is my dash through is applying that stuff to you, by the way?
Yes.
What's your cell phone number?
Uh, 309 258.
Hold on, my phone's being stupid.
This is the Elemental Planes multi-pack.
309-258.
3302.
3302.
I'm excited. I've got banishment now. Oh, you're an outsider. Bye-bye.
So I figured out what I'm gonna do to mitigate the fact that you guys' characters eventually here are ridiculous.
Oh, whoops.
After we've finished out the stuff that we're doing now, kind of the campaigns that are ongoing, you know, finish the Spire. There's still some scenarios from season 6 and 9 I want to run. I'm gonna start. I'm going to start an adventure path.
What's that?
So adventure paths are Paizo's big adventures.
Oh, yeah,
They're
yeah.
6 parts, 6 full books. But the advantage of the adventure path is I can run it in what is called campaign mode, where I get to do. Okay, so you level like a normal game with experience through it.
Okay.
And I have almost virtual complete control, just like I would a home game, to modify things as we go, as long as we run the adventure. But then you also get a sheet for each part of the adventure path that you apply to a different character. So you get to, essentially, you get to run it through with a character like it's a home game, and apply the credit to a different character, like you got
So
it
you
from
can do
GM credit.
So you can do high-level things and still level up the other characters.
Correct. So we can do that, and you get to apply that credit to other characters, but you play through it like a home game where you level based on your experience, and then when you guys make absurd archers, I can design the encounters that still are challenging for you.
I was surprised I was getting hit so often.
Like those one guys had plus 20.
Okay.
The lurkers had 2 slams plus 20.
Yeah, I think they did 52 damage.
Yeah, my AC is like 31, but it's 32 if I'm standing next to the
Right.
lady.
The low end of stuff had plus 13. Or no, plus 18 was the renders main
What
tank.
about
Damn.
the
The real is,
first?
you had buff that you could have done. You weren't doing your buffs. That's really what was killing you there, Collier. It doesn't really matter, but
We're still taking less damage than the rest.
That's
See ya.
Like, I took 52 damage, almost
see ya.
got immediately killed.
Did you win?
yeah.
We did.
We almost never lose, but we almost never get one shot too. Yeah,
I mean, we crushed the whole thing
yeah,
by
we killed 2 dragons in 2
something,
rounds.
so
2 dragons, 2 rounds.
Yeah. That's good.
And the Pathfinders win another victory.
Yes,
Pretty
very
much.
easily.
When are you gonna do goblins?
I don't know.
Well, I mean, then that's his way to make us underpowered and have to actually take more hours to do that.
I am going to run the Weeby Goblins at some point, but
BB goblins. All goblins.
Okay. The ultimate match. The final showdown. Oh, I got the hiccups. Oh, no hiccups. Alright, it is not Nick Mac Paddywhack. It is Bryce Puddleson versus Jacob Gonzo. Now Jake is on 3-color nonsense. And Bryce, of course, is on Get Alive. Alright. What's up? I know, it's quiet. I want to be able to hear the match. But yeah, we got Bryce Puddleson versus Jacob Gonzalez, and we are getting into the match. Jacob versus Bryce. Mana e mana. Oh, that was a bad one. That was a bad one even for me. Martyr. Oh, it's just Martyr of Sands, isn't it? There we go. Martyr of Sands. That's the card that we want to see come out first turn, and followed up by birdies. Lots and lots of birdies. Alright. Alright. 9. Snake Eyes. Bryce isn't going to be going first this game. Alrighty. Alright. So Bryce has 7 cards in hand. Jacob has 7 cards in hand. So apparently Bryce's opening hand was 6 lands and a Settle the Wreckage. So not a whole lot doing there. Okay. So we're still shuffling up, getting ready to get into this match. That's probably gonna go the full 53 minutes. Okay, hey. Alright, Bryce goes down to 6. Scries to the top. Martyr Sands getting us going good. I don't know why. Huh. Alright. So we are shock fetching down to 17. Hallowed Fountain comes into play. And we path out the Martyr Sands. And we're going to beef up a Squad Hawk. Squadron Hawk. Obviously, a Squad Hawk is a 1/1 for 2 that when it comes into play, you can search up to 3 cards named Squadron Hawk and put them into your hand. And Bryce pulls out the 3 other Squad Hawks. No counterspell. Alright. Squad Hawk gets in. We have a clock. It is a very, very slow clock. And we are going to sack the Martyr, revealing 5 white cards, 3 Squad Hawks, a Wrath of God, and a Settle the Wreckage. Goes up to 35. Because you gain 3 life per, and that's 5. So Bryce, 235. And Jacob has another Flooded Strand ready to go. So Squad Hawks attacked for 2. Bryce goes combat for 3. No blocks. Jacob goes to a mighty 11 knife. Not bothering to change the life counter because why do that? Fetching Shock goes to 8. And swings for 3 more. And plays Elspeth, Sun's Champion. I hope I have it here. Company Boggles. This is my deck section. And Jacob could not stop the Squadron Hawk onslaught accompanied by an Elspeth. So Bryce pulls out the victory, game number 1, and we move on. Now is going to be an incredibly good time for Bryce to bust out of his slump. I believe he's in a slump. Where are we at? Where's Bryce at? Bryce, yeah, Bryce is 0, 1, and 2. And Jacob is 4 and 0. So now is the time to slow down Jacob's winning streak and put Elspeth enemy of the Nightman, champion of the sun. Alright, so everybody does start back at 20 life. And 3-color nonsense tonight did indeed turn out to be J-Sky and Bryce rockets into this match. Oh. Alright, Jacob gets to go first yet again. Let's see if he is going to have a little bit better luck this time. We can only hope not. I do like a good streak, but I also like to see streaks come to an end. Alright, plays a Celestial Colonnade and passes the turn, and we're going down with a Flagstones of Trokier into a Serra's Ascendant. And we are searching for Azcanta. Much like the Pathfinders, they probably won't find it. Serra's Ascendant gets in, -1 to +1, so we're swinging in. And backup Serra's Ascendant, so double the lifelink, double the trouble. Jacob, with a Field of Ruin and a Celestial Colonnade, tapped Hallowed Fountain, doesn't want to pay the life, saw how precious life truly was in this game, and he is, and Bryce, on the other hand, is ghost quartering his own flagstones to get a Mistveil Plains and a Plains. It's a good setup, good pickup. Replace themselves in your deck and get ready for the onslaught. The onslaught. because we got a Bant Panorama. There's a Bant Panorama. There's a Bant Panorama coming in from the north. And swinging again, take 2, +2. A third, oh no, that's a Squad Hawk. Now we're fetching out Squad Hawks. All right. Jacob searched his Snapcaster to the graveyard, and we are going to Field of Ruin the Mistveil Plains. He doesn't like that kind of recursion happening in the deck, especially if you get to Fate Seal. You just get to reshuffle the deck up and hope for something better, because he does play Jace the Elephant in the Room, Danzy the Egg Sculptor. Alright, Bryce gets to untap. Jacob with 2 cards with a fist of cards and 2 mana up, including 2 blue, and that Celestial Colonnade. He goes a swinging for 3. 1, 2, 3, and gains 2 in response on that. He is... Oh, there's another Squad Hawk, opting not to search. He is 5 life away from having insanely powerful flyers on the board. Let's see if he's able to get there. Jacob picks up another Field of Ruin, and Ruined Halo comes down, naming Serra's Ascendant. So yeah, we're gonna... I'm sure I already have that one. There it is. The Serra's Ascendant is on... Alright. And we are... And we are Field of Ruining the other Mistveil Plains, so keeping them off of the recursion plan while holding off the attack. Squad Hawks do get in for 2 more damage, although unless Bryce is able to gain life another way. Bryce does now have the Crucible of Worlds, which is going to let him play the Mistveil Plains every turn now. You cannot stop my recursion. It is going to happen. Throwing another Ruined Halo into the graveyard doesn't see the necessity of a redundancy, and plays Teferi. And obviously the Ruined Halo is a 2-drop enchantment that when it comes into play, you name a card, then you have protection from that chosen card. And then another backup to Teferi, the Hero of Dominaria. Essentially, you seed 5 mana and he lets you untap 2. Squad Hawks going hard at Teferi to make sure he doesn't stay out there any longer than necessary. He does let you draw a card and give you mana open for counter spells on your opponent's turn. So, something that the green enchantment, the Frontiers, does solidly. Teferi does give you that card draw though. So, Bryce is going to. Oh, did he attack? Why don't you go? Oh, I believe... Settle the Wreckage coming down. Bryce gets to fetch out 3 basic lands to replace his 3 attacking creatures that just got exiled. He did send 3 at Teferi, so I think he went... Oh, he went 4 deep at Teferi, but he still should have gained the 2 life because of the lifelink. Casting out Teferi, so if you can't attack him to death, he's just gonna get rid of him good old Enchantemy style. Cast out. It does have cycling. It has flash, and when it enters play, it's an Oblivion Ring. Alright. Jake passes turn. We have 2 Sarah's Ascendants back on the field, but because of the Ruined Halo, not a one of them is going to hurt the man himself. Jake is sitting pretty right now. Bryce needs to put him up. Now he's going to go on to the recursion destroy plan. So we are fetching out. We just got rid of Escanta. And of course, the search for Escanta, during your upkeep, you get to scry, essentially, look at the top card of your library, and then you may put it into your graveyard. Then, if you have 7 or more cards in your graveyard, you may transform search for Escanta, which adds blue mana to your pool, and then you can look at the top 4 cards of your library, reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, put it into your hand, and put the rest on the bottom of your library in any order. But Bryce didn't want to have that kind of diggable power on the field, so he rightly Field of Ruined it to get out more basics. And we're looking to get counters. Counter happy, counter happy. Squad Hawk coming in. Takes Jacob to 11. I know he exiled 2 of the Squad Hawks with a Field of Ruin, but perhaps, maybe you should have kept that extra Ruined Halo for Squad Hawk just for the off chance, or even named the Sun Titan, which might be in his deck as well. And the Sarah's Ascendant is a 1/1 for 1 with lifelink that if you have 30 or more life, it becomes a 6/6 lifelink with flying. And we are, looks like we disenchanted the cast out. And we are right back with a powered up Teferi. So at this point, you can, he's birdie, or yeah, he's got the Ascendants to stop Teferi. Everything coming at Teferi, so what you got? You have a response? Snapcaster, settle the wreckage. Oh, that's dirty. That's dirty. Well, exile those 4 attackers. I don't think he has any more Sarah's Ascendants left in the deck. That's unfortunate. And I think that was the last after the birds too, possibly. Or maybe he has 1 more Sarah's Ascendant left and no birds. But yeah, now he has a Snapcaster, which is now an Ambush Viper. And the Snapcaster Mage is a 2/1 for flash that lets you cast and insert sorcery from your graveyard for the rest of the turn. No, it lets you cast it at that time. Cast out onto Teferi. If at first you don't succeed, just keep casting out. If Bryce can get to a Ghost Quarter, or he already has the Ghost Quarter, so... Oh, did he destroy the Crucible as well? Wow. Alright, Lyra comes down. Lyra Dawnbringer is a 5/5 for 5 flying first strike lifelink, and then other Rangers. And yeah, she's dead. So whatever happened to her, she's now just dead. But it is absolutely a threat that something could have happened, and it looks like Bryce took 2 on the attack because of the Snapcaster Mage. Bryce has all the mana. Casts another Teferi. So he's going to draw a card and untap 3 lands. Swing 2. 21. I had him gain life somewhere. Hallowed Fountain goes away. Let's go get some basics. Was a Field of Ruin, so Jacob does get to fetch out a basic. Search does not find. Now is about time to, if you got another Crucible, to start digging in. If you have a way to get the Crucible back, now is the time to bring out Ghost Quarter, because now they are strip mines. 2 from the Snapcaster takes Bryce down to 19, so not a whole lot saving him right now, and we do have to get there before Teferi ultimates. If Teferi gets the ultimate, it's game over, because that emblem is whenever you draw a card, you exile a permanent opponent controls. So Jace comes down. Jace the elephant in the room. Lots of Field of Ruining happening right now. There's Danzy the Mind Sculptor. Danzy the Mind Sculptor comes down, and it looks like he's using the Fate Sealing. Bryce needs to get something on the board. Ooh, Rest in Peace. Isn't gonna much matter after he ults Teferi. I mean, there goes Graveyards. Almost seems like a Nombo with Crucible, but are you gonna draw with him, or are you gonna ultimate him and gonna plus him one more time? Wants to be able to keep that ability. Plus Jace. Alright, we are ultimating Teferi now. Now we have an emblem. That one. I just got it. There we go. There's the Teferi emblem. Whenever you draw a card, you get to exile a permanent your opponent controls. There we go. So now he's just Fate Sealing Bryce into oblivion. Bryce is just drawing this out, hoping to take this game to time. And Helix, Jacob goes up to 14. Bryce. Take that plains. We're untapping. Jace gets to Jace Ultimate. Your hand becomes your library. Is what the Jace Ultimate is. You exile your library, and your hand, oh my gosh, becomes your library. Oh, so many hiccups. Plus to fairy, draw a card, exile and untap plains. Engineered explosives on 1, possibly. So forecast to bring back the martyr, and we are just pathing it. Bryce like a trooper, not just giving it to him, making him work for it. Ulting Jace. And Jacob pulls out victory game number 2. Wow. Wow. All right, let's get rid of that. They're discussing on the standings right now. Okay. Alright, so Sarah's Ascendant comes down, and then And swing on the attack. Bryce goes up to 21. Jacob down to 19. And we're gonna crack a fetch to not shock, I'm assuming. Into play tapped. That's right. That's how it should be done. Okay, so 2 manas. Jacob goes a casting Sarah's Ascendant with another. Okay, we'll get rid of that because there's no emblem right now. But now he is protected from Sarah's Ascendant. Nevermore. Search for his Kanta comes down. Okay. Thank you. Alright, Nevermore did come down and has named Teferi. Alright, so Nevermore, Teferi's on Nevermore, and okay. I don't think I have a Teferi. Nope. Engine Explosive comes down on 3. That's just going to get rid of the, we're going to Field of Ruin the Sacred Foundry to fetch out some basics now. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba. Go to combat. What's up, Danzy?
Solely because I know it'll drive Jacob crazy, I'm gonna go and not tell him I'm driving. McCarthy's undefeated.
Yeah, and because he had to leave,
he had to leave, so
yeah.
he said, "I'll take a loss and go home."
I know. No, that's not how it works because that's not how I want it to work.
Well,
Sarah's.
I'm sure.
Oh yeah, I've been listening to it and it's. Thank you. Alright, so we have a Runed Halo on Lyra. We have a Nevermore on Teferi. And we have an Emirion on board. Okay. Now this match is getting interesting.
Yeah.
So Ranger of Eos fetched out probably a couple Martyrs. So Lyra is a 5/5. And if Bryce can get up to, what the heck is that? Is that a resources or what is it? Timely. Timey.
Yeah, I was gonna say you did something.
Timely reinforcements. So that sends Jacob up to 24.
Got a nice, lovely Alex O on Cam. Got a nice, lovely Alex O on Cam.
Yeah. Exactly how you said it was going to be. Is like that one person who stands right there and watches the game. But you know what? We have the observer cam. As long as they move enough so I can catch like an update on the time from time to time. Alright, so we have in his Kanta that he found a cryptic command with. And down to 19. We pay 5 life for. I don't know. We're getting there. So we got ourselves a good old-fashioned Mexican standoff. Tear taking out that, so now Lyra can get in on the beats. She got blocked. What'd she get blocked by? Probably a bird.
Probably.
Go combat. Ranger gets in. And Titan gets in. Probably naming Lyra again. Yep, naming Lyra. So we settle the Titan and the Ranger out of play. Said the only thing about hearing the comment or playing on stream is you get to hear Bob scream. I don't see any rhinos being played, so I don't see there's nothing to scream about.
I seen Alex O.
Yeah, I do see Alex O. I mean, I'll scream for Alex O. Counter draw off of the cryptic. Alex Ho! Okay, we are Field of Ruining the search for his Kanta.
The only thing that Bryce did last match that I questioned was he aggressively Field of Ruin when he was getting Fate Seal. I know he's not feeling good.
I mean, it was a foregone conclusion. He was just trying to draw it out as much as possible.
Just give yourself every edge you can get.
I think the thing that aggravated me about what happened in this game here is that Jacob asked for a time extension to discuss whether to draw or not. Yeah. That's not anything that you can be granted a time extension for. It's like, no, how about you... especially after he shooed somebody away when they ask him, who apparently is running the tournament, on if there's a next round. Yeah. And it's like, why not, how about you not ask the active players? And it's like, wait a minute, we're active players, so let's discuss our draw. Let's discuss our strategy for next round. It's like you can't have it both ways. You go one way or the other. Be consistent in your ways. Either acknowledge somebody is asking you as you are the perceived runner of the event, and then don't proceed to take yourself out of the active game to discuss the tournament.
Don't use the rules to your advantage.
Right.
That can cause you to lose your judge title.
Okay.
Personally, I think even on these lower levels, if you're judging the event, you shouldn't be able to play. Just even at LGS.
Right.
I don't agree with it.
Well, I mean, I don't think you, if you're gonna be the judge, I don't think these tournaments necessarily need a judge overseeing everything, but
no, not necessarily.
I mean, it's nice to have an official judge on the premises, but I don't know.
Yeah,
That's why I want to get my judge.
But when you're playing in a game, if your opponent wants to make a judge call,
Right.
who's gonna come?
Right.
You can't look at your opponent's hand. You can't
Right.
give them advice on
Mm-hmm.
That's my big thing.
And it's like, have a judge call, and the judge is like, my opponent did this. No, he didn't.
That's why even on a lower level, like,
Right.
I think that the judge
I mean,
should
yeah, if
have
you're going to
the
enforce the
video.
judge things, you know, it's like, you know, if you are overseeing as a judge, you should not be able to be playing. And if you're just like the guy that they ask questions of, there should be another guy that can answer those questions too. Anyway, lots of stuff is happening, but really nothing's happening. Bryce gets pelted with a celestial colonnade. And we are destroying the colonnade now with the Field of Ruin. Oh.
Guess what they did, Bob?
What they did?
You remember when it was cool how, like, 2 months straight we had the birds and the dogs in our research book?
Yeah. What's coming out?
The 2 birds are still there. The big ones.
Oh, Lugia-Ho-Oh?
Yeah, and the dogs are there.
Uh-huh.
Now the Reggies are there.
Really?
For March and April.
Oh, that's nice.
No new shinies.
I wish I could get something other than a Suicune to pop up, but
But now you got 2 more months of trying to get a Suicune.
oh boy. So they're not taking anybody away, they're just throwing Reggies into the mix now.
They took the original 3 birds out.
Okay. So now it's just the dogs and the Reggies.
Dogs, Reggies, and the 2 big birds.
Okay. Lugia-Ho-Oh. So they're
So
for a month, so for a
shiny
thing
are
that you can
Lugia-Ho-Oh.
only get 5 on a good spin attempts at a month, they have 7 options to pull for, or 8 options to pull from. Good to know.
Yep. And at least 5 of them are terrible. I love Pokemon.
Who's terrible?
The
Reggies,
Reggies,
Reggies aren't terrible.
Entei, Suicune.
What's wrong with Entei and Suicune?
They're just not that great, man.
Okay, so now we have a detention sphere that has grabbed all of the, I'm guessing, runed halos?
Oh man.
Cracking the Martyr, revealing 3, 4, 5, 6. Okay. Time has been called.
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is only $20 for this week.
What's that?
Assassin's Creed Odyssey is only $20 this week at GameStop.
Oh, awesome.
That's pretty cool.
Snapcaster Cryptic? Nope, Snap Path. Okay. Okay. So
Classic.
So we crack the... So, okay. So the engineered explosive goes away. Both players get their Runed Halos back. Sarah's Ascendant is called back here. No Teferi protection any longer, but we do have a Lyra protection. Jace the Elephant in the room, aka Danzy the Egg Sculptor, is back out on the field.
Yeah. I am the Egg Sculptor.
You are. There's Jace. Jace the Miggity Mind Sculptor. The Miggity 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 Mind. The Miggity 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 Mind. So Sarah's Ascendants are going to say Jace is going to die a horrible, horrible death. So, but not really. This is turn 2.
If they draw, then McCarthy's the overall winner.
Yeah, McCarthy should be the winner.
Yeah. If they draw, McCarthy's the last undefeated.
Uh-huh.
Overall winner.
So turn 4. Turn 3. Okay. So Bryce was 0, 1, 2, 3. We are Fate Sealing. Casting Teferi. Plussing him to draw a card and untapping 3 lands, or 2 lands. Turn 4. Could have used a die that was even more impossible to see for some reason. Field of Ruin passes turn. Jacob turn 5. I don't think he's gonna win. Bryce is gonna go up for his 3rd draw this year.
Way to go, Bryce.
And Jacob picks up his draw. And Bryce... Oh, his 3rd draw for the year. Did I say 3rd? Yeah, I said 3rd. So Bryce, who is 0, 1, and 3. And Jacob, who is now 4, 0, and 1.
Did you hear about the 9.5 Alpha Black Lotus that's sold on eBay today?
The what? There's a 9 point?
9.5 back in.
9.5 Black Lotus.
Yep. Alpha.
What's it up to?
It's sold.
Oh, it's sold?
$166,100.
Wow. Wow.
The
Wait, there was a 10 Black Lotus, wasn't there?
No, there was never a 10.
Okay, so this is that one?
This is the 9.5.
Okay.
A 9.0 sold this morning. Alpha for $57,350. That 9.5 is the highest ever rated.
That's... wow. Was it you last... Was it last week? Or no, it was Billy last week. There was like... it was like, wow, that Black Lotus is saying... is saying... Oh my god, my brain is shutting down. Honus Wagner. It's like, Honus who is like, oh, no sir. No sir. Honus Wagner still says, what's a Black Lotus? I think when we looked it up, the last time a Honus Wagner sold it was like 2.6 million, I think. So it was like, yes, $166,000 is very impressive, but Honus is like, oh, that thing, I use it to scrape my cleats. Okay. So we've got 3 rounds in the books. That's going to do us for tonight. There was some internal controversies happening behind the scenes, but that's none of your concern because I'm not going to be bothered by it either. We're done for tonight, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, cats and dogs of all ages. I had a blast. Got to see my man Puddleson on stage. We had Nick Mac Paddywhack actually technically should have won this tournament because he went undefeated. Or 3-1 if you want, but he still was a 3-win going after leaving after this round. So yeah, that's gonna do it all after the fact. I was glad to see Kylie and her bow back. They were great people. She upgraded her deck quite a lot from last time, but still needs some work. Still doing some good. I suggested she watch Mr. Puddleson play. No snow tonight, but we did get Rocket Ricky Ruff bringing the rhinos, shoving them down his opponent's throat. And we did get to see Nick Mac Paddywhack win through, in fact, which was a feat all to itself. All right, but next week's March, new theme, new fun, new joy. I hope you all enjoy your Resurrection Challenge. Hashtag Resurrection Challenge. Find it, look it up. It's pretty ding-dong hilarious, if you ask me. South Africa, you be crazy. But I've been Evil Bob, your resident head in the box, reminding you that however you choose to live your life, I approve. Have a good night. Have a great weekend. And we'll be back on Tuesday.